New York Comic-Con, and we're getting on a shuttle to go to the con, and we're sitting in the shuttle. I mean, not 5 minutes. And Trio's
the guy had the heat on.
I don't think he had the heat on.
I think he did. I felt it
dude,
underneath my
right?
feet, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just sweating. This is what.
Oh my god,
it's terrible.
So I mean, I can keep all this in the podcast too. I mean,
it's up to you. Well, I don't know.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
dude,
Okay,
hell
cool.
yeah, do the same thing.
So
I mean, we typically like do an intro and then get into the podcast, but you know, we can do it a little differently.
No,
with this.
I mean, yeah.
I'm actually interested to have fun with this.
Yeah. So what are you guys trying to talk about today?
I mean, honestly, anything and everything. To God, the universe. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Really, honestly,
Real quick,
whatever.
Off podcast. Am I calling you for this? Are we going by the alias?
I don't care. You can say
Clin.
Clin. Just say
Clin.
Clin.
I call
okay.
you Clin
No, yeah, I say-
regularly.
yeah,
I
And
feel
but
that's your
and
nickname.
then like no last name. It's just gonna be like I'm just like, all right,
No, Clin.
I'm
Clin
gonna
Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clin Clemson.
Yeah.
So,
Love it.
I was just like, is that what he wants?
and
Yeah.
you've been going by Clin for before the cast too. I
Yes,
feel like everybody that knows
Brendan
you
Flood started
goes
calling
as
me Clin. And then I embraced the Clemson part.
Yeah.
Because when I was at Bloomsburg, I got so shit wasted one night that I fell down onto my neighbor's apartment floor and I physically couldn't get up
Oh my
because
God.
I was so drunk. And I just said, I'm a clam now. I'm a happy clam.
This
and I'm
is
just
where
gonna,
I am.
Here, this is where I live.
And that's the
This is
last
my
we ever
life.
saw
Yeah.
of
And I
Cullen.
was there for probably about an hour and a half, and then they were like, "You need to leave."
You gotta get
Oh
out.
my
No,
God.
I'm a clam now. Clams
I'm a
don't
clam.
move.
So I mustered everything, and you know when you get the spins, you just can't move.
Yeah, one of my
It was like that.
one
Your
of my
last
friends
name.
just.
My
I'm
last
gonna
name.
pronounce it. I'm gonna try.
Please hit me.
Manticunis?
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
There we go.
Right
Yeah.
on it. I love
Absolutely.
It's
Exactly.
like the
as
fucking Greeks, man.
Yeah.
What
it's
was it?
super long. Manticunis.
it. Manticunis.
Yeah.
But like it's easy because like it's very phonetical.
Sure.
But
It's
like-
yeah, you're just looking at it and that's it. It's
Like
not, there's no sneaky
some
vowels
other
in there.
Greeks that we went to high school with, it's like, what the fuck do
Yeah.
I do?
What do you
with
mean
that?
by the Greeks? No.
Dude, honestly, the Greeks are such a cult.
You're Italian.
I'm
though.
I'm Italian. I have my last name is Greek.
Wait,
I'm
really?
also Czechoslovakian. I found.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I read a little
Can
check.
I,
Yeah.
can I add something to that?
Please hit
so
me.
I got cursed out by one of our friends because I said that Gian is not fucking Greek,
I'm
and then he
not.
said, "You're a fucking idiot. Of course he's Greek. His last name's Manticunis."
nothing.
Have you ever fucking asked this kid
Yeah.
Yeah,
if he's
people-
Greek or not?
Well, he
And
didn't
Gian,
either,
Are you
yeah.
Greek?
I'm not Greek. If you actually, it's,
Wait, really? You're not
I'm
Greek?
not Greek at all.
At all?
The Greek kids are actually really mean to me. Actually, so
he's a black sheep.
my stepfather adopted me. I took his last name.
Okay.
And,
Well, that would make sense.
Manticunis, and he was like, "You're gonna go to Greek church now," and I was like, "This is sick. Being Greek's awesome." They were like, "Not
They're
only
like, you're not Greek.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's no CCD. It's just Sunday school, and you get donuts, bro." And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
"In." And the kids were like, "Do you know any Greek?" And I was like, "No." And I explained, and they were like, "Well, whatever. You're not a real Greek then." And I remember being like,
man.
yeah, like word,
Wow.
like yeah, no, dude, they're fucking mean kids. Fuck you." So shout out to all the Delco Greek kids. Fuck you guys.
Where was it? Was it the Greek Orthodox Church off
Yeah.
of Malin Road? I
St.
think it
Luke's Greek Orthodox Church,
Yeah,
right
man.
off of Malin Road.
yeah,
Shout out to
Trio
Father
used
Chris.
to live on Malin.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, did we talk
Yeah, so
about this?
I think we did. Yes, like I was past the Greek church. Like,
Yes.
So yeah, going out little deeper.
A little
little
deeper,
further.
like
Yeah.
the whole length of Malin deeper.
Dude.
No, there was still a
Were
little
you-
bit of Malin.
Were you Brumo on Newtown Square?
Newtown Square, like
Oh,
literally
shit.
on the
What was that?
edge of Newtown Square and Ridley.
Okay.
Barron Road?
That sounds familiar.
It's around
like
that
it's
area.
around.
It's
yeah.
around.
Delaware
It's
County
around
Christian
that
School?
area.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's literally right. Yeah.
Past
I was
Delco
in-
Christian.
I was in that. I lived in that little development, Aronimink Drive.
Oh, yeah.
Mansion Road.
Oh.
Right where the
Yeah.
The other side of the woods where St. Albans Swim Club is.
Okay.
I lived on the
Shit.
other
Yeah, that's
side.
really close. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
awesome,
before
dude.
that we were like right behind Marple Newtown High School, and then we moved when I was really young.
You moved
Like,
to
To
other-
Malin. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And we were at first we were on Mulberry, which is literally like I could throw a football over the fence and I'm at Marple.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Mulberry. That sounds so familiar.
Is
It's
it
like
the
a cold-
Avenues? Was it the Avenues?
yeah, it's like the ones right, like literally right next to the
To
high
the
school.
left of the
yeah,
high
like if
school.
you're like looking at the high school head on, they're to the right.
to the right near
yeah,
the
and
near
they're
that
in the back.
church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, in that
Adrian
neighborhood.
lives on the other side.
Mhm.
Did to the left
Right.
side.
Oh, and all those
Yeah.
numbered roads.
The avenues, 4th Avenue back there.
Are they
yeah.
all numbers?
They are all numbers. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew
the
that.
right ways, like if you're going, like if you go down, it's like a normal street. It's like
Right.
Cuckoo Shoe Drive. I don't actually know the real roads. That's not
Cuckoo.
the real name. But then when you turn down
I
the
hope
road,
that's
No,
the
no,
real
I'm pretty
name.
sure that's
Yeah,
what
that's
that's
correct.
road.
The Cuckoo Kachu
Yeah.
Drive.
Trying to look at your beer. Why is it on?
Please. Oh, I do that
Oh, I
every
was
single
like, was that-
time, so I don't lose my beer because I am known
That's a
to.
pretty
You know what I
because
do?
everyone takes
You
the
know
tab
what I
off
do?
or something.
I switch mine.
Switches
Yeah.
his. Yeah, it's
But,
so,
but people pick up on that too, and then I drink someone else's beer.
I do it all. Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Austin Keith actually picked up on this. You guys don't know him, but he noticed like I will indent my thumb into the beer, and I think it's
Just
like
a market.
right.
And
Like
it's a
I
habit.
hold it, and it's not like I do it on purpose. I think
It's more just you don't even
I
really. Yeah.
did it, and then that's how I realized. And it's like, Gooch, I noticed you like press your thumb into the can, and I was like, yeah, I guess I do. But like that's
You
something I always
psychopath.
do.
No.
Whoa.
That's interesting. I've never
That's
seen
pretty.
that.
I know, right? I've been doing that for years.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't
that's
stop.
that's
It's
definitely
like-
one I've never seen.
It's like a compulsive disorder. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
be ready
just
for
feel-
that to blow up
Yeah,
now.
dude, guys, I'm telling you, like
Like
this is
we
the
are
way to do it,
internationally
like-
known. People
like
will
people-
say like
I put some beers in.
People-
that's gonna be everywhere.
I'm gonna go to
It's the
parties,
newest.
just dead
And
somehow,
everyone has
every beer.
deads.
I put beers in a cooler like last weekend. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what, did that happen? I was like, he probably thinks I'm like trying to kill him or
No,
something.
yeah, dude, they put a bunch of shit in our Miller Lite. I knew there was some fuck
Yeah, we
going
were
on.
here
I
before
knew
you
they
guys
were
just
tricking
injecting
me.
things into the beer.
They don't even want to have
this
us on
is
the podcast. Is this really a
trap.
podcast?
We're not even recording. No.
Is this real? We just bought the equipment to trap you guys.
Speaking of podcasts, welcome to the Delco Nerd Network podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends from the Delaware County area, we get in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic, well, we don't have one.
Yes.
Whoa. We are doing a special little podcast, a crossover with our friends from the history of podcasts, Gian, Mantakunis, and Clin Clanson.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Hell yeah.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank
And
you
then,
for
yeah,
having us,
of
guys.
course,
Yeah.
Triple Threat, Chris Trio, what up?
Yeah, guys, it's great that we can have you on. Thank you for check out our history of podcasts debut appearance, the history of Jedi on their podcast channel.
Yeah.
Basically everywhere, right? Like you guys are on basically
iTunes,
on.
Spotify, anywhere you can find podcasts. We're on every single
Fantastic.
everything except YouTube. Not yet. Are we on YouTube, Clin? We're a little bit on YouTube. We just got an email address, so like we're making
Yeah.
waves in the world.
Oh,
We
wow.
did just
Yeah,
got an
no,
email.
yeah.
It's historyofpod@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
lose our sponsor, Tostino's Pizza Rolls.
Hey, you
recently.
can't win them all.
Again.
I mean, it's it's a disappointment,
We're
but
trying our best in the world, Trio, and honestly, like
You're doing
we're
what-
winning now.
you're living your best life.
We're going to
That's
get.
what-
Yeah,
We're better with.
I want to clue you in. DiGiorno on Twitter, hit him up.
DiGiorno on Twitter. DiGiorno's the next because we
DiGiorno.
should advance to real pizza.
They are real meme lords.
Isn't it
over there.
Real
DiGiorno?
pizza.
What?
Isn't it DiGiorno?
Yeah.
DiGiorno.
DiGiorno, whatever.
DiGiorno.
We all know what I'm talking
I don't
about.
know.
But like,
Buongiorno,
but like,
hey.
seriously, like their Twitter is like just like a meme.
Really?
Like whoever runs it is like watches like Kind of Funny's podcast and like is in with the gaming community and like just tweets at people like random things about
Yeah.
like DiGiorno's pizza.
Well, that's their
DiGiorno's
is that
pizza.
their demographic. The demographic they're after. It's just like
I guess.
yeah, right?
That's really hurting my mind when I hear
It's not
DiGiorno's.
delivering.
It's DiGiorno.
DiGiorno. I'm just. So, say it.
DiGiorno.
I'm
DiGiorno.
just making the G a little harder.
No, you're
DiGiorno.
you're
DiGiorno.
changing the G from like
to a
the
J.
other G. Like
All
yeah,
right,
It's like Jeffrey with the G.
or Jeff or like whatever. That's pretty funny.
DiGiorno.
DiGiorno.
Guff.
A guff.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on today,
Of
guys.
course, man.
The setup is amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You guys
I
look
try.
incredible. I
Wow.
know it's a
Stop
podcast and they can't see you
Wow.
guys, but you guys look great.
No, it's
You
on
can.
video
Hey, you're
on
gonna.
YouTube.
You're gonna. Well, this will be on video.
Oh my god!
On
what
YouTube.
else? I'm so happy to be here. I feel like I've got a lot to talk about. I feel like I've got a lot of strong nerd opinions.
I'm
that,
excited, yeah.
I've got a lot of culture in me. I'm a big Final Fantasy guy. I've been playing Final Fantasy 1. I just want to put that out there.
All right.
What else were we talking about earlier? Yeah, hit me, Clin.
Can I just add just something that just just my 2 cents on something that we could talk about?
Love
It's
it,
Totally
yeah.
up.
Hit me.
I've been having a really hard time like making sentences lately.
Sorry.
I do not know what it is.
It's all right.
Your
I
sentences
think-
are great.
I think my brain got fried during quarantine.
You're just so used to not
Just,
having
like,
to talk to people. So
Drinking
it's
so
Yeah.
much, yeah. So,
Oh, dude, I know.
You know what I have been rewatching, probably for the second or third time. I don't know if it's always been on Netflix, but it just found it. Is
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Avatar.
Yeah, dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they did announce recently that they are doing a Netflix sponsored
live action
film.
But
and I know that might have
Are
a lot
they-
of
are they still
animosity.
doing it?
And
Well,
aren't the creators not attached to it anymore?
they aren't now.
Right.
I don't know
They're now,
what's gonna
really.
happen. with
There's
that.
true, like that shows me that. First off, love that show. I remember when I was younger, growing up, watching it
Yeah.
and being like, "This is the shit," and like, of course, I was ahead of everyone. No one knew that back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But no, it is a great show, and that does sadden me because like when they announced it and they were like I think they announced it like close to a year ago now, like a pretty
really?
good, like
That
a
long
good
ago?
amount of time.
Yeah,
It's been a couple
around.
months at least, but
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, that's cool. They have like the original creators. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then the other day when they announced that they were off, I was like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Because like
Right,
if
right.
they don't like the ideas that you're putting forth, that's not a
That's-
good
Yeah.
sign
right.
to me. And they
right.
made a really good animated
It's
show.
going to be like M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar,
Oh.
The Last Airbender.
I
if
don't
you guys
even- I don't
remember
even
watching
know.
that.
I don't even
What
know
are you
what
talking?
you're
There is
talking about.
no.
Brutal.
There
I've
is no
never
M
seen
Night
it.
I don't even know.
Shyamalan.
I don't even know
Never
what
seen
you're
it.
talking about.
Horrific.
I
pulled
really
that
kind
out
of just
my
want to
brain.
watch it at this point, just
Do
to
it.
really see
Wait,
how
wait,
they
wait.
mutilate. Like,
Wait, I was joking. I know
It's
exactly.
surprisingly.
no.
And I watched probably about 30 minutes of it when I saw 10 earthbenders do their dance and
Yeah.
then push a giant boulder, and it was a small boulder that just
I think I've seen the
slowly crossed
YouTube
the
video.
screen. And then I was like, yeah, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, and I have no intention.
They
of
call
watching it.
Aang Ung, right?
Yeah, they call him Ung.
Ung.
What?
Yeah.
And it's
Why?
It's this chubby kid that
Firebenders also need fire in front of them. They just
They do.
shoot
They
out
can't
of
just
fire.
shoot.
They're
They can't just
useless at
firebend.
sea.
Wait.
They're useless at sea.
Did M. Night Shyamalan comment on why he like just changed the names of the
He
source
probably
material?
thought. Well,
That's
so
crazy.
like
That's
that's
like
the one
calling
that's.
Harry Potter like Gary.
But like on paper, it
Harry
still
Potter.
said on the paper it still said Aang.
And
But
I believe
it was pronunciation. He was like, no, that's the true pronunciation.
exactly.
of Aang.
That's what he
I'm
said.
like, shut
It's
up.
the-
That's not how he
It's
said.
the Chinese.
Yeah, it's like that's how they
pronunciation of it,
would-
I believe, or something. They put some shit. He was
so
an asshole.
the show itself, the animation of it is, it's American created, right?
Yeah, it's
Right.
Western.
They
It's
chose-
Western anime.
But
Or
they
so, yeah.
chose anime, Japanese art.
Yeah,
kind of,
there's
right.
like it's like a mix of
anime.
like more Western style with anime.
it's
Right,
an American
okay.
anime. Like
Yeah.
it really doesn't get like like Pokemon. You could say that,
You
but
can
like
tell
it's made in Japan.
Yeah.
Right,
But like
right, right.
It's a cartoon.
Avatar is
Yeah.
a cartoon
Yeah.
that is very much like an anime.
Yeah, it's very it's
good,
anime
so.
in style in the way of like I feel like how it's drawn, but I don't feel. It's funny. I really didn't like anime when I was growing up, but like I did really enjoy Avatar. So I just feel like it has that style without having those same tropes.
Right.
Maybe it's
Right,
more
right, right.
American.
It's a little more
eyes
fun.
version.
I like that a lot
guess,
better.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah,
It's a
but I
little
really enjoyed it a lot
less
more.
It doesn't have the anime
intense.
tropes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
and
it
even
doesn't
like
have the huge boobs bouncing around
Right.
every
Yeah,
episode.
well,
You know, the
it
things
is
were
I mean,
always-
except for
also-
that one episode of Pokemon.
Except for that one
when
episode.
James has boobs.
Oh yeah,
nice.
isn't that banned though?
Yeah,
That's pretty
Isn't
high.
that-
there's
Yeah,
an
that's
episode
cool,
where
man.
who gets
where he
boobs?
gets
James.
boobs. Jesse and James.
Yeah, except
Team Rocket.
From Team
James is
Rocket.
like cross-dressing for some reason. It's like a bikini contest
And
or
he's
something.
got huge tits.
Yeah, and like he like
He's
plays
got
with them.
Yeah.
huge
Like
tits.
it's a thing. Like
Yeah.
go look it up.
I'm not surprised.
It's like
I don't
every
not
anime
believe
I've
you.
seen.
Yeah.
Just to add just some fun facts with that is Jesse and James, the characters in the Japanese anime, are actually based off of Musashi and Kojiro.
Oh, really?
Which were the greatest Japanese sword fighters of the Edo period of Japan.
Interesting.
Of the
Like
you got-
nah.
We did
Edo,
check
yeah,
out our
yeah.
history.
I
on
was like, was
episode.
that a
Yeah,
podcast?
Musashi
And
Miyamoto, the
yeah,
greatest
Jesse
ever.
and James is actually based off of
There you go.
Musashi and Kojiro. Kojiro being
Wow.
his adversary, Musashi being the best sword fighter of all time. And Kojiro got for the most
Well,
part.
we know,
Wasn't that right?
whatever.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick.
Didn't he get killed by the oar? He got slapped and then
Yeah,
stabbed
he
with the
fucking
oar.
killed him with an oar. It
And
was
then rode
terrifying.
away on the sailboat with
ran
one oar.
away. He like ran away. Yeah.
Actually, that's
like,
a good,
I'm
that's
outta
a
here.
good episode. It's one of the.
That's a
yeah.
great one. He
But
killed
just-
a kid one time too.
I'll have
He
to
was
look
a
into
prince,
that.
I think. Remember?
really?
I
Whoa.
think it
No
might be in
spills.
part
No.
two. Either way.
I mean, that probably would.
Have you guys ever had a spill on the podcast? I've had one. One spill. It wasn't.
I feel like we've had a lot of it.
Probably.
We've had to.
Some episodes we don't remember, so we
Some
don't
ep-
remember what,
yeah.
what happened.
Have you listened to like a podcast that you've done and like completely and been like, wow, I don't remember
Yep.
this at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
The sex ed.
I was just about to say sex ed
You don't
episode.
remember any of it?
I don't remember.
Not
a lot of it.
not
Listening
like,
back to it, I
do you
was-
just is it like
Yeah.
you remember the beginning sort of, and then it just tapered off?
I mean,
I still don't
You
remember.
the way you guys are situated, it does. It's nice that you can actually like get as drunk as you want, and then you just walk home.
Yeah, like
it's
that's actually a
convenient.
good point.
It is pretty fun.
just get blitzed and just autopilot
What
home.
were we doing? I think we were drinking earlier. We had wine and
Hanging out.
cheese, and
We
then
were having
it
wine and cheese.
escalated into
Into
we
a
were by
sex
the
ed podcast.
pool,
yeah.
and we said, let's go record a podcast, because that's what everybody does when they're drinking. And, and
It was
there
also
it
like
is.
3 in the morning when we finished the episode.
Oh.
The episode
Oh my
was like
gosh.
2 hours long, right?
And there she
love it.
was,
yeah.
posted 2 days later.
The latest we did a podcast was when we first started doing like the hot take series, the reviews. We decided after seeing Guardians 2, we would come back. It's probably 11 o'clock and do a podcast.
Yeah.
What a mistake!
Yo,
Like, and I was like
Wow.
right after
Because
the
we're like
movie.
school/work.
you're hype after the movie.
Right,
it's
and
not
then,
even
and then
that-
we're
We're
you
yeah.
come off of a movie and like your opinion like really doesn't solidify right away.
I say like a
Yeah.
week. Usually I give it now. Like I really do think that's
Yeah,
good.
like,
Yeah,
I
even
think
like
about it. And,
yeah.
yeah.
Right, and sometimes we usually, we'll see it on the Thursday and then we do it the review on the Sunday. So
Yeah.
we got a few days. But like, yeah, doing reviews like right after, I feel like is not like always the best. 'Cause,
yeah,
like,
you don't have time to
plus,
process.
we're tired at the
Right,
end of
yeah,
the day.
right.
The opinion isn't solidified.
And then I had to drive home back to Westchester, and I'm like, and then we
No,
started.
I think you were still at Malin at that
Was
point.
I? I might have. I actually might have been. But then I was
Yeah.
like, it's like, all right, let's start. We started. We talked for like 15 minutes, and it wasn't recording. We're like,
That's why
Been there.
I got up twice because I get like I know I'm recording, but I get scared that I'm not recording.
of course, yeah.
And I don't want to
Yeah.
this is like a special
What
podcast.
episode was that we did
Oh,
like
no.
an hour episode? We took a 10-minute break to use the bathroom,
Came
and then
back.
we came back in and we talked for 45 minutes.
I think
And
it
then
was
you realize-
Musashi.
I think it was Musashi,
'Cause
and
we
then we were
ended up
just
doing
like,
a part
wait,
2.
and then we had to go. But I think
So
when
what?
we
It
went
wasn't
back,
recording.
The part 2 was fine,
Oh.
but we
Yeah.
you could tell we were like, and then we were trying to get through it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Right,
was it like,
because you were retracking and you were trying to like replicate like the discussion. You
Yeah,
sort of
and
just
it's
had.
tough
I think
to
the
do.
second time we went through was
We
pretty
were
good
doing
for
so
what the
good.
first time was.
We were
But the
doing
first-
so
yeah.
good.
That does suck.
Shit does happen, but I did want to bring up the history of podcasts and like kind of talk about it a little bit. So I don't think we talked when we did your podcast. How'd you guys start it?
How did Clin and I
Give me
start the
the-
history
when
of
did you start, I
podcasts?
guess, actually, yeah.
A couple years ago, a lot of really late nights
Yeah.
at one of our buddies' house. We were, I think Gian and I, we would hang out all the time. We would see each other all the time,
Yeah.
and we're almost always drinking whenever
Sure.
we're hanging out. And then one day, I was talking to somebody, maybe literally to Gian. We were sitting on the couch, and I was like, "Yo, I really want to do a podcast." And then what did you say?
Oh yeah, me too. I want to
Yeah.
do a podcast.
It was
too.
like, dude, same.
What should we do?
I think you and I went back and forth. So
Yeah.
I had originally sort of similar to Delco Nerd Network, more of a celebrity news idea. I hate celebrities so much. It was more of just us talking so much shit
Yeah, just-
for an hour. It's just 2 grown men screaming at a microphone. I had my girlfriend involved. We had other friends involved. and
Sounds
stuff.
like E News.
It was sort of like E-News, but on the customer side, on the other
Right.
side. Where it's like,
Right.
Like,
so-
shut up, E News.
Yeah, douchebag Bradley Cooper's back in the news again. I don't know. I don't have an issue with Bradley Cooper. That's for
So like the only problem with that is like you have to live your life if you're gonna have good information regarding like the celebrity e-news aspect. Like that has to be a part of your life, that you're constantly following that. And I can't imagine like being a person that
Oh
is
my
so
God.
involved in like, oh my god, like somebody just took a shit and we gotta
talk about it. Especially
talk
if you
about it.
hate it. Like, I would want
Right.
to fucking kill my.
Well,
like,
isn't that
That's
what
why we
happened?
stopped.
Isn't that what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
You're
You're like, I'm gonna kill myself if I keep doing this.
It kind of withered down. Yeah, I was just, it would just make me angrier for no reason.
What was it called?
I have my laptop actually here.
What I would
Oh,
love.
so it
to-
was hot goss.
Hot goss.
Was
That is
I
pretty
really
amazing.
hope
2
your,
episodes.
your profile picture for Hot Goss was Ryan Gosling.
No, oh man.
That would have
that
been
would've
pretty
been a
good.
good idea.
No, but then it would have had to have been exclusively hot gossip about
Well, yeah.
Ryan
I'm
Gosling.
curious
That
if
has to
there-
exist.
Is there
hot
a
gossip.
podcast specifically about Ryan Gosling?
Yeah,
Or we could
we're
just
TMing
not
that.
mention
That's
it.
our.
Just-
So
Just have it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gosling,
I don't know if
no.
you guys know. Before Delco Nerd Network, me and Trio did a podcast called Everything Entertainment.
Yeah, I don't remember
Oh,
who
that's
mentioned
really?
it.
I like that. That's a good
It
name.
was
I
yeah,
like
everything
Delco Nerd
entertainment,
Network, too.
and we did a weekly like news show just covering bullshit.
What
and
was going on? We just talk about game news, movie news,
Yeah.
talk about shows you're watching,
review
trailers,
certain shows.
whatever.
Yeah, like every. and it sucked by the end. Like by the end, it just was tedious.
It was
Yeah.
it was
Like a
really
lot.
hard to like. I'm like, doing it every week was just tough. Because like we don't do this every week. Sometimes
Right.
I mean,
Sometimes
did we record last week?
Yes, I think. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
What did we just post?
DC Fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like some weeks we get in the cadences of like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks we'll do podcasts because
Yeah.
that's just how things lie.
Right.
And sometimes
But-
we'll shotgun like 3 at a time and then have them in the
Right,
back
and
pocket,
today
then,
we
yeah.
did 2 today, and then we're probably not going to record next week because we got a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
but like doing a podcast every week is
There's a
tough.
lot
It's
of
daunting.
impossible.
Yeah.
It's a lot,
Especially
man.
when you want,
Especially
like-
when you're following news like
Like
that.
it, like you're saying with hot
Right.
goss, I assume like it makes you go insane. Like because like you really
Yeah.
are like, did we miss anything? I'm getting
Right,
kind of
especially-
mindless about
yeah,
every like.
talking about shows.
I
week to
really
week.
do think that was the main like
Right.
awful
we
thing.
talk about okay,
Yeah.
like this week
Yeah.
on the Flash, like this happened. I'm like, dude, I totally forgot to talk about this, and we also have like 3 more shows to talk about.
Yeah,
it.
I felt like it just ended up becoming like, all right, we're just recapping Flash or
Yeah.
Arrow for this week
Yeah,
or
no
whatever,
reason,
and it's
yeah.
just
I've seen
yeah.
that. I've seen the shows. Absolutely.
and I even started to fall off with them, so I was like, I'm not even, and it kind of morphed into now what we're doing. Yeah,
That's sort of like hot goss, but I think it kind of evolved more to like openly saying I'm not having fun doing this. I don't like this. And
Yeah.
then Clin and I went back and forth, I think, several times with ideas for podcasts because we both matched each other's energy. We both had sort of the same idea.
Yeah.
Kind of no ego
guys
attached
were
to
both
it.
in on
Let's
it.
just do it. What do we both like? What is something interesting? And I think we came down to like historical figures, topics,
Yeah.
cool shit. So we ended up doing more of like drunk history, but hey, like we actually get drunk on our show, like not like
Do
drunk
they not get
history.
drunk on drunk history?
They used to get real drunk on when they were on YouTube and stuff. Nowadays they're like
Yeah.
like you guys need a few more drinks in you, you know? Like
Like,
wanna
you need-
see
I wanna
fall
see
over.
this sloppy shit.
This
Yeah.
is like somewhat sober history.
Yeah, it's like it's bullshit. And I think it just flourished. We wanted a topic to kind of grab audience's attention. We wanted to have a little fun with it, be a little silly, and it gravitated towards dildos, and that's what we eventually.
Oh, at first, yeah, well, because
Yeah.
it was like, wait, what are some topics that we wish we knew more about?
Like,
and
just-
then
and I
immediately
like-
it was like, oh, dildo.
yeah, that's
Of course.
amazing. Like, where did they come from?
What-
What
yeah,
is going?
that's
Yeah,
the point.
yeah.
They've
Check
been
out
around
our
forever.
episode.
It's like
episode
how it's
1.
made, but for the oddities almost.
Right.
It's like
Right.
where did this? I like it.
Right.
I really
mean,
do.
I think the beauty about your podcast is you can really do whatever the fuck
Anything
you want.
we
yeah,
want.
no, it
Yeah,
really is.
and
It's
we
so
do.
free-forming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
No.
mean, dude, I'm pretty sure your most recent episode. I don't think you guys put out a new episode.
The Satanist
yeah,
one was the most recent one. Yeah,
That was from you guys.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Shout out
yeah,
to
wait,
Shout out
I'm
to
glad
Delco
that
Nerd
worked. I
Network.
think that really
what's
did
the
work
church
out
called?
very well.
Yeah.
The Satanic Delco.
Delco.
They're
Yeah.
they don't like church. They
Right.
like temple,
Yeah.
meeting area. It's
Don't believe in Satan.
Don't
right?
believe they don't believe in
Did
anything.
you listen to the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
So I can.
It
I
was
can,
very interesting.
Yeah, it was.
pretty wacky,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like
can,
Yeah.
add, I can add a lot to that. I can explain it if you guys.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
want to
no,
hear.
no,
Seems like you
Yeah,
guys
no,
already understand it.
no, it's
Right.
yeah, it sounded pretty
so,
legit.
So the whole idea with Satanic Delco is that they are a kind of subsidiary group of the Satanic Temple. They're not official yet through the
Yeah.
Satanic Temple because Joseph Rose, the founder of Satanic Delco, wants to kind of keep his own organization without other hands.
Yeah, because he doesn't want them
Yeah.
like he doesn't
Yeah.
want to be like caught like representing them.
Oh,
or
exactly.
Right? Yeah. And so yeah.
So
I think it's
he-
fees involved too, where it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
He,
why
he
would I
needs
want
to,
that?
Like as
Yeah,
soon
you
as
get to officiate yourself.
right, as soon
It's
as
not
they're
Satan at all.
official with the organization, the Satanic Temple, throughout the country, they send representatives to his organization, and they have to. The representatives make sure that he's doing everything that
It
is
is-
under there. You know what I mean?
It's funny
like
how it's turned into
micromanagement.
like another like organization like all
Right.
right, well we're sending our guy out to your church temple. I'm sorry
Yeah.
to make sure you are doing exactly what the temple would like you to do.
Right.
It is fun,
Right.
but like to be honest, listening to the podcast, it was very interesting. Just it seemed to just be like a very live and let live
What-
type
yeah,
of philosophy,
yeah. And
like
what
which
I-
I can honestly.
What I
I'm
think
all
is the
about.
best part about that podcast is the fact that I think you guys got like in a way stumped because you didn't expect any of what you
Fucking had
No,
so many
you threw out
questions.
all your
Sorry.
questions.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if I'm allowed to. Am I allowed to curse on?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
All right,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, literally, like had a
What's
whole
he say?
speech.
He probably was
I was
like,
like,
I don't believe in Satan. You were
yeah.
like,
I was like scrolling, like, do I have any questions outside of like, because I was hyped. I was expecting.
It was good. Don't get me wrong, but I could tell like you just didn't see what he was saying coming.
Totally stopped me. Should have done more research.
He was
on
just
it.
a completely reasonable guy.
Yo, did you hear his fucking voice on the podcast?
He sounded great.
Incredible was his voice?
Yeah.
He had such a nice
he had a
radio voice.
he had a podcast voice. He really did. He had a radio voice.
What did you guys record through? How'd you call him?
So we went through Zoom, but then he recorded. So he did the entire recording for us. We recorded on our end.
Wow.
His came through a soundboard. He also got off Amazon.
That's
Beautiful.
why he sounded good.
Yeah, you guys all sounded great.
I was gonna say, I was like,
Yeah.
why does he
Super
sound
nice
so
gear.
good? He's on a Zoom call.
Yeah, no, it sounded like you guys were doing like you guys were in the same room almost.
Right.
Yeah, like it really was that good.
I was
saying
surprised.
$600, but
Yeah.
I was surprised how well it picked up our part of the conversation.
Me too.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't use any of our files from our side of the conversation.
Oh wow!
He-
So he literally just sent you guys the files and you posted it. Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Cool.
Actually, yeah. Oh, I don't remember. I don't know if it was specifically from the Zoom or was it.
He sent
I
it
know
through
he
his
sent-
sound. It was through his soundboard. I don't think it recorded.
Oh,
off
you know
his Zoom.
what it was?
It
It
was
was-
he had the headphones in too.
Yeah, you know what it was? It was our side of the conversation came through Zoom and recorded on his software.
Right.
His voice
Yeah,
was on.
was already
his
on his
software.
soft. Yeah.
So we just used that. So our voices sounded pretty good for the most part, but when the internet kind of goes in and out, it gets a little choppy.
Yeah.
Or latency, I
That's
guess
everywhere.
they call it or something. Packet loss, I don't know. It's
Either way.
times.
Either way.
Yeah, I mean,
He was. We talked about it on our way here, actually.
Yeah, we did.
And we got people really seemed to enjoy it. Some people people had a lot more questions. You yourself, Clin, said you've been getting a lot of positive feedback on it. I've also gotten a lot of positive feedback on it. I was, if I'm gonna be honest, disappointed. I wanted.
He wanted him to come in here, and I love it.
you
You'd
were
be like,
looking for
listen,
that.
we're doing a pentagram tonight.
Yeah.
We're sacrificing the goat. Come on, and it
Check
sounds
out-
like they
Right,
actually
you wanted
like
that
small
wow factor.
sacrifices
yes,
of some kind.
He wouldn't tell us exactly what.
play guitar on the.
But you know what I realized though is that if you go back and listen to the podcast, just want to say he's a super nice dude. But if you go back and listen to it, he didn't really elaborate on exactly what
was going on, and we'll just find out.
during their
I don't know
meeting.
why I have this.
Yeah,
wire
no, what
on.
was his name again?
Okay.
Joseph Rose.
Joseph Rose
Super
of
nice guy.
Satanic Delco, right?
Yes.
Satanic Delco. Yeah.
Honestly, like it really go listen to that podcast, guys, because it was one of the more interesting things. Because like it's truly not what you're expecting. It would have been a lot more fun though if he was like if he came on the Zoom call
like-
with like the black eye makeup running down his
Yeah.
face, and he's like, "Hello, gentlemen," and like he had like a goat's head in the back.
Did he like how the podcast came out? What kind of feedback did he give you guys?
You know what's funny?
never
I
really
think it
followed
was
up?
my fault. We never heard
Oh,
from him
that was
again.
so fucking
so
funny.
we got kind of tuned out. We got a little drunk.
I
It's the
was
history
hammered,
of podcasts. We had a fun time. Me and Clin were having a good time. And I ended up going home. We hit it off with Joseph. We had a lot in common. And I thought he was a cool guy. So I followed up in text with him. And was like
Like a couple hours later.
way too drunk, saying yo man, we should hang out and get some beers and stuff. I don't know. I was saying inappropriate stuff to him that we had discussed on the podcast,
Oh, God.
and he was never.
He was like one word text.
He
like,
said,
yeah.
"Haha, sounds good" or something, and never heard from him again. We told him
Yeah.
we're posting it. We gave him the link. I don't think he came back to us on that one.
I texted him and asked him ahead of time what I should post as the title because I obviously didn't want to say I didn't want to offend
interview
you.
with
Yeah.
Satan.
Interesting you guys
Right.
communicated via text, not like email. That's interesting.
Oh yeah,
he started.
He sent his
He started his email. Didn't we email him
yeah,
first?
we were
and
emailing
then
him
we
because
just
we
sent us
gave
the
you his
number.
email.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he just sent me his phone number and was like, "Why don't you just text me?" So I
Yeah,
I'll
that's
text
easier.
you.
He's a cool dude.
No, that's
He's a
cool.
dude.
No, seemed like a really nice
Yeah.
guy. Seems like a very interesting organization. It would have been a lot more fun if he was in that robe with a nice something like I don't know, just some
Curved
skull.
dagger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or not even that. And, but it would have been even more funny if he still was a nice guy and looked like that. Like,
was
it
super-
like-
yeah.
Right.
And
Well,
I really want to get to one of those meetings.
I did really like the part that he's saying that he was talking about all of his tattoos, like the pentagram on his shoulder and the "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me" on his forearm, and then he made a really good point, like my son's teacher is going to see this and then judge me that I'm a Satanist, but it doesn't change the fact of who I am.
Yeah,
it
no.
doesn't change the fact that I'm a good dad and I'm involved in my son's life and
I'm doing my shit.
And
Yeah.
I'm part of the community. Like just because I'm a Satanist doesn't mean that I'm not that person. And it was just like. And it was a really good point.
No,
It's
yeah.
like if I were to the random I'm on a date or something, I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm a Satanist." Like that's
It
not
would
gonna
go over a little
that's not
weird.
gonna go down well.
Right,
But
That's
And
a
then if it
terrible
does
date.
go down well, that would you'd almost be like, that kind of went a little too smooth on the Satanist reveal.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if you were
But
like,
even
me too.
But yeah,
wow.
they're like, oh my god,
Whoa,
who would have
look
thought?
at this.
No, but and again, I don't want like this guy seemed legitimately nice, and I don't want it to seem like I'm like making light or anything, and like you guys aren't either. Like it seemed like he was a really cool guy, and it seemed like it's a very honestly from like the tenants he went over and stuff. I'm like, I get in this, but I don't
Yeah.
think I like. Unfortunately, just like you're saying, hey mom, I'm a Satanist. What? Like I'm a Satanist. Like no, it's I feel like I could live by those tenets
Yeah.
almost without
Yeah,
needing.
yeah.
I guess to necessarily call yourself that.
You're
But
no
no,
title.
but again, no shame to anyone who does what they want to do. Like
absolutely
seriously,
not.
yeah.
I had our friends sending me messages over Snapchat in our group chat that were saying like, "Wow, this is fucking awesome! Like, sign me
Yeah.
up! Like, I'd love to be a part of this organization." Like, it was just mind blowing how they take the word Satan and then you all automatically think like, "Oh God!"
Well, of
it's
course,
the-
it instills.
it's-
What's the Exorcist? It's the
Yeah.
Exorcist.
Yeah, I know,
And
This
it's fun to see that opposition because we did. I think we got a message from a friend or two that was like, "Why I didn't like that as much," you know?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
it wasn't as
Yeah, well,
wacky.
because it wasn't
Right.
what
It
we
wasn't
thought-
what they. Yeah, people
Right.
were wanting.
I mean, that's
that,
what I
like,
thought it was
more-
going to be, and I was just like,
He killed me.
I actually, I listened to it in my car on the way to and home from a date, and I
Dude,
told
was
my
it
date
good?
about it.
No,
Good
it's a-
episode.
And it sounds like they almost are using. It's like like from what I remember him saying, he's like, well, we're just using Satan basically as that, like, well, who can like,
Yeah.
because it really doesn't like just be a good person
Yeah,
for the most
exactly.
part. And I
It's-
was like, that's an interesting point.
It's
So,
the ultimate
some interesting,
rebel.
What do you guys have up on the pipeline? Is that a spoiler? Can we talk about
What
that?
do we have
I'm
up on the
curious.
pipeline? We have a lot of topics. I think it was Ivan the Terrible
Ivan
next.
the Terrible, super
I feel like
interesting.
I've heard of
Was-
Ivan. Like
was
that
one
sounds
of-
like a very familiar name to
Yeah,
me.
he
He's based Vlad.
that like-
Dracula's based on him, right?
I thought there was a legitimate Vlad the Impaler was
or
real.
Vlad the Terrible are two different people.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh,
What about
Ivan,
Vlad
yeah.
the Poker?
Or sorry,
No,
sorry. Yeah, Ivan
Yeah.
the Terrible, Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah,
Two different
Ivan
people.
Ivan
Yeah.
the Terrible is a super interesting topic.
Yeah.
He was basically this guy that was living. It's a documentary. You can actually find it on Netflix.
Okay.
There was this guy that was just like post World War II in the 1970s, I think.
Oh,
leading
wow.
into the 80s. This guy was just an old man just living out in Michigan, I think. And then one day, someone just accused him of being this Nazi death camp guard that would torture the Jewish prisoners before he would send them to the gas chambers. He would do all sorts of fucked up stuff. I'm not going to talk about it
Sure.
right now. But he got accused of this.
Right.
And then he was actually an immigrant. He immigrated from Poland, so he does have a Polish background. He was there during the time of the Nazi incursion in that area, but there was no evidence to back up this claim.
Right.
And basically, what had happened, it was just he became imprisoned for years in the United States. They extradited him to Israel to stand trial, and it was this whole fucking crazy story of is this evidence real? It came from Soviet Russia. Is Soviet
Doesn't
Russia
yeah.
just fucking with us?
Just trying to cause some shit.
Right, but it's got a crazy twist and a crazy ending. So
Oh my
it's a
God.
very
I'm excited
interesting-
now. That was a good little.
Terrible's
It's a very
twin or
interesting-
some
Ooh,
shit. Yeah.
that's a
I thought
good
Ivan
little
the Terrible
sizzle.
was like someone from like
So you're
like
you
this
are thinking of Ivan the
1500s
Terrible.
or
Yeah,
something,
he is
yeah.
somebody from the 1500s.
Yeah.
He was like a warmonger also, but that was like
Yeah.
a nickname for this Nazi douchebag. That like,
okay.
and it's crazy that they hunted this guy down so hard because I believe the main doctor. Hitler's like main doctor
Mengele?
Dr. Joseph Mengele like lived his life pretty well until he died all
you-
around the world.
have
Oh,
you
yeah,
ever heard-
He died in South America.
Yeah,
have
he
you-
drowned swimming.
Have
as an old
you
man.
heard about the crazy like Nazi villages in South America?
No, I haven't.
So
What?
like
What?
they're
You've never Odessa and stuff?
I think like so they're literally
Yeah, like, all
like
the
you're
Nazis
in like
went to South
Argentina
America.
and stuff like that
To avoid getting
caught
Yeah,
after World War
right,
II,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
literally started these literal. You go there, everyone speaks German. They're like these walled communities.
Holy
like
shit.
even the Spanish or like people or like the Latino people are like speaking fluent German and
What
like
the fuck?
and like they have their houses with all their German medals and stuff in it and grandpa's old uniform and they're like, yeah, we're just hanging out, you know, and we just yeah, that's grandpa's patch from the war.
Oh my god!
And it literally
Jesus
is
Christ.
like, and they're just chilling.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
totally stark different thing, but there are also in Mexico. There's these big Mormon camps and Mormon like communities where they
Oh, that's
literally
cool.
went
That's
to.
fun. That's
well,
wild.
because what's it called? Polygamy was legalized here, and they're like, we're going to
yeah.
Mexico. Fuck that. But yeah, dude, the Nazi thing. I'm telling you. It's nuts.
Wait, you
Look
want to hear a good segue? That is an episode in Doom Patrol.
Really?
This show.
Which one?
Out of here.
Like the third or fourth
no,
one?
I mean like the Nazi like people in Argentina?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
isn't that where is that in the first season or
Yes.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
the first
doctor,
season.
right?
Man,
Yeah.
I gotta get the DC. I gotta get this DC watch
Dude,
out.
it's on HBO
No,
Max now.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
on
So
HBO
yeah, you can
Max.
get that,
Okay,
and
I
you
can
can
just
get
rip
that.
it on.
I think a free month.
I've
So
been-
honestly, you could go on there and binge the whole fucking thing.
I've
and
been
then be
waiting
done.
for Brendan Fraser's return. I've been waiting so
it's
patiently
so
since the
good.
Mummy
Dude, that
3.
show
I
is
love
it's,
Brendan
it's
Fraser.
really
I
cool.
love
different.
Brendan Fraser too. I love
He
the Mummy.
disappeared.
Man.
He disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Well,
I would
apparently,
say 10 years. At
apparently
least.
the
yeah.
Mummy movies like really fucked him up. Like he got
Really?
like by the third one he was being held together. He said by like duct tape and bandages.
I heard
or
he
something.
got-
I mean,
Like, he, like,
we're-
he-
we-
I think
we
he, like,
we
hurt
don't
his
talk
back
about
really
the
bad
one that
and,
was
like-
in Asia. We don't.
No,
talk
yeah,
about
but
that
even
one.
like
Oh, yeah,
in that
that
you hear him
fourth
talk.
one.
What's it called?
That's
Like
the
the
third
dragon.
The Dragon Temple.
Oh, that
We
was
don't
Tomb
talk
of the
about
Dragon
that.
Emperor.
Dragon Emperor or something.
Tomb of the
Guys,
Dragon Emperor.
so
It's all
bad.
the Mummy and the Mummy Returns. That's it.
Great
I was
dude.
telling you just I was like, I mean, I guess again you could say this about most good
Scorpion
movies.
King, remember that
Oh,
one?
my
with the
God.
Rock.
The Scorpion King is not bad, except that the CGI is in
bad.
Returns.
Yeah.
The Scorpion King is not that bad of a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it in like 10
Dude, that
years.
and CGI. Do you guys ever hear Corridor Crew on YouTube?
No.
Yeah, Corridor
They do
Digital?
like
Yeah.
CGI stuff, and they remade that scene like to try and make it better, like to
Yeah.
improve the CGI. And it is weird. Like, I find
so
CGI
bad.
really interesting in the way of like it's all about picking up on the things that you don't even realize that you're
Right.
picking up on in someone's face, and like certain like things
Yeah.
that like, and you hit that like uncanny valley where it's like close, but it's not quite right, and
not
like,
right.
and your brain's like, don't trust that. That's not human.
Isn't a good example of that is the most recent Star Wars movie where they had what was it, Rogue One? Where
Yeah,
they
what's
had
Rogue One?
Like Tarkin and
right, they
yeah,
CGI'd his
Leia.
face because he died like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
yeah,
Right,
no,
they
to
CGI'd his
Tark
face.
for Tark, and
Yeah.
it's funny because like
Yeah.
that's one where like I didn't think looked actually I thought looked pretty good,
I thought so too.
and like I even asked some of my friends, like I was watching with my girlfriend, and I'm like, does anything look weird in the scene to you? And she's like, that guy's face is kind of shiny, but like I don't like I'm curious how well that passes for like the general moviegoer, but
Right.
it's definitely gotten better. But it is true, it's like that little bit of like,
Yeah,
this isn't quite right.
I when I watched it, I didn't know that he had died.
Oh,
But
really?
But I recognized
know
him
either.
from the original movie.
Right,
Yeah.
you knew he
And I
was
was like, wait a second, he looks
a
exactly
little-
the same in the 1970s that he does in
yeah,
like,
he didn't age at all.
2018.
Yeah, that is
Lotion.
interesting.
He
And-
was lotioning for
Yeah.
these 30 years,
Lotioning.
guys.
When I watched that scene where he's having the discussion, I can't remember who he's talking to.
Yeah.
But he's like the commander of one
He's
of
in
the
the,
Star
like,
Yeah,
Trek.
Death Star.
Council
Yeah, or
or
Yeah.
whatever.
And he, I could tell because like his face doesn't move the way
Quite-
a normal face.
yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like there was something weird about it. That
Well,
was like,
yeah, and it's funny because you're like, and your mind's almost your mind's willing to accept that. I feel like when it's in a fully CGI environment, but when you're putting
Yeah.
that in like a physical space,
Right.
that's where it starts to contrast. You're like, well, that the lighting's not, it's hitting right, but not like quite
Right,
right enough, and
So
like
something's
his
weird
skin,
about it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just that weird little thing. Like I don't know.
Return of the King. Not Return of the King. The Mummy Returns.
By the way,
Dude.
what I was saying, like, if you put Mummy in a vault, the
film.
original Mummy in a vault, took it out of that vault today, and never showed it to anyone, took it out of the vault today, made the CGI day appropriate, and released
Yeah.
that movie, I bet it would do the exact same.
I think
it would do
I
so
love
well.
the Mummy. I thought
That
it
first
was
Mummy is
I've
so
been
good.
meaning to rewatch them. I
Scared the shit out of me.
I grew
Dude,
up with
yeah.
those movies
I
as I
love the
assume
Mummy, yeah.
you guys may
Yeah.
have as
Oh
well.
my
and,
God,
like,
yeah.
I really love those movies.
What
Like,
I love
about
the Mummy.
since we're on a Brendan Fraser kick? What
Yeah.
about George of the Jungle? Have you guys
Dude.
ever
Love
Yeah.
George of the
That's a classic.
Jungle. He's
Are you
great
kidding
on
me?
that.
That was one of my
Great.
favorites when
Yeah.
I was growing
Are
up.
you kidding me?
God.
What was the other weird fucking?
Encino Man.
That one was
I didn't see
funny.
Encino Man.
Encino Man.
It was like there was one
I think,
weird one where
before
he's
me.
like,
Okay.
he's like
Okay.
in this weird monkey bone. Was that it? Do you guys remember that,
That
movie
sounds
at all?
really familiar.
Yes, I think
that
I
sounds
know.
really
and
familiar.
like, what's his name from Saturday Night Live is in it? The guy
I was like, Google it if
from
you want.
from Night at the Roxbury, Chris,
Oh.
whatever.
Oh, yeah,
No, not Will
um,
Ferrell, the other
The
brother.
other guy, the little guy, yeah.
Monkey, but like, I just remember it being like the
Monkey
weirdest
Bone?
fucking movie I have ever seen, and it's a Brendan Fraser,
Yeah,
or
wait,
Fraser.
Fraser.
Wait,
Fraser,
I think it's
right?
Fraser.
Fraser?
I think it's Fraser.
I think you're thinking of the show Frasier.
No.
I'm thinking of Brendan Fraser.
I think you got that backwards.
I don't think Trio. I don't
It
know.
is from 2001.
Yeah.
Bone.
Monkey
Yeah.
Bone?
I've seen Monkey Bone. I can't remember
It's
anything
so.
about it.
I don't remember it really either, but like,
Yeah.
I just remember someone posted a picture.
I remember this cover. I
Yeah.
remember that very well. Like going into Hollywood
It's-
Video
No
in,
idea.
in
It's
Havertown
super
down the street.
It's super inappropriate, right? Like it's
Yeah, I
sexually
think so.
driven, like double
Yeah, maybe I
entendre,
shouldn't
kind of.
have been watching that when I was younger.
We're going through trio sexual awakening.
Yeah, that's so it's like Monkey Bone. Ooh.
Brendan Fraser. Ooh.
Oh, I love the Mummy.
Oh, please, Monkey Bone. But
Hashtag-
what else?
hashtag
Let's
Monkey
go. What other discography of or not discography, filmography
Honestly,
of Brandon
I
Fraser
wanted to
can
pick
we
your
walk
brain
through?
about the Doom Patrol a little bit.
I love the Doom Patrol. That is my favorite comic series that I've ever read. The books are arguably hard to get through for some people, and I totally understand.
I could imagine.
The art is it blows you away because it's not like today's art where it's done over 80 times. It's that classic art where you
classic,
can
more-
see it's drawn. Like
Yeah,
somebody put in
very
time
animated,
to do it.
yeah.
Very animated. Some of the topics in it are all over the place.
Dude,
Sure.
the show is all over the place, man.
My favorite character is Danny the Street, the sentient street that is neither. I believe it's a hermaphrodite. How it's described originally as a hermaphrodite.
Yeah.
I don't know what
sentient
Danny
street.
actually is.
Danny is
So she is in the or he, or it is
sexual
in the
preference.
comics.
Is
It
it?
is in the comics, and it
Yeah.
is very. Like I'm positive it's a hermaphrodite, and it is very.
Well,
like,
even that's the whole
she's
thing.
a
Like when they go to like her town in the show,
Yes.
like everyone's like
super
there's-
gay. Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
well, like super like just like
Drag
Jen or
or
whatever. Yeah, there's
gay
like
or
the drag
whatever.
shows or
Yes.
and like. Yeah, no, it was actually, and it
There's-
was one of those, and that was actually one of my more favorite episodes.
Yeah.
It was a really good episode. Like the street, it was interesting. I mean,
I-
they go so bonkers in
Yeah.
that show. They really do.
I love the powers. I've never seen powers done like that. Powers are my favorite part about superheroes.
Yeah.
I big DC guys. I know you guys are big DC people. I really got into DC in the New 52, which was probably
yeah,
a
that's
weird
when
time.
I feel like I started getting
oh,
into
it
It
it.
was
was a
probably
weird time to get into
it.
like DC comics because I
There's
always
some
read
really
Marvel
good stuff in the New 52.
Wow, there's awesome
And then
stuff.
there's some really shitty stuff.
Oh,
One
man,
of-
yeah.
The
Clint, do you know
Aquaman
what
Run
the
in
New
that?
52 is?
I'm just gonna listen. I think.
Okay, I was like, so it is
Long-
basically the current run of DC from
not
like
cur-
not
yeah.
current.
2017
So,
to
here, short of it,
18, 19.
DC
No,
all
no,
comics,
it was way
No,
before
2015
all comics
to
like to
6.
reboot their.
that.
their-
Like 08.
Oh, wait, no
so-
way. It was
yeah.
Okay, so it's the new.
It's the new. So every like comics for some reason it used to be like every 50 years and then
Right.
it's 20
They
now it's 10.
redoing the
They
same
reboot
shit.
their
Yeah.
continuity
Right.
and that was one of the ones that they did back in like 2011 was the New 52
Okay.
reboot. They were supposed to do 52 new comics. I don't think
Yeah.
they ever got to 52.
No, they cut it in
but
half,
then they went
like,
to
immediately.
Yeah.
then they went to Rebirth, which we're in
Yeah,
now.
we're in Rebirth,
Which just
starts
has some really good
with
stuff.
So is
Doctor-
that? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It starts with like Rebirth starts with like Kid Flash like running through time, and like Dr. Manhattan has from Watchmen has like entered the DC universe and has like put the universe back together. And now there's a comic called
yeah.
The Button where like the comedian's button with the blood on it,
Yeah,
the smiley
yeah.
face, like appears in Batman's Batcave, and he's like,
and then
"The
that
fuck
led
is
up
this?"
to Doomsday Clock, which is like the Watchmen crossover, which
Yeah,
I heard's
yeah.
pretty okay.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm in the
basically they
middle of
like to
reading
they
Is
do
it
those
good?
reboots every year.
I haven't started Button yet, but
Okay.
I read like the first comic that is like Wally West like running through the entire DC
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the Doomsday Clock run. I think it's all out now.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you can, I was gonna read it kind of halfway through, but I decided not to.
Just an example of because I do know I read a little bit of the Batman Detective series.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
considered the New 52?
So I'm trying to. There's so the
yeah,
detective
right.
comics have been Batman Detective Comics. I feel like has been going on for a long time.
Okay.
I can't remember. I feel
and
like
I think they are
there
their
probably
own
was
thing.
some that were in
Okay.
there part of the New 52.
Yeah.
One thing I do like about DC is I find their continuities easier to handle in the way of like, and I think Marvel probably releases these too, but they release like compendiums or just volumes of things. So like one of my favorite runs of all time is the Aquaman run in New 52
Oh,
because
man,
it
the
really
trench.
well
The
that
trench,
and
yeah.
like it starts off where like there's like a bank being robbed and Aquaman shows up and stops him and the police are like, Aquaman, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be in like the water? And he's like, fuck you. Like he literally and then he like just takes down all the bank robbers and they're like,
looks
oh
kind
shit.
of the stereotypical Arthur
Yeah, and
Curry,
he's got
right?
like the
Yeah.
full like the glove,
orange.
the armor and all that.
yeah.
And then he's in like the diner and these kids are talking to him. He's like, Aquaman, what are you even doing here? What do you talk to fish? He's like, no, I don't talk to like. And it's just really good because I feel like it kind of brings him back up to like a hero. Everyone thinks of that video of him, and not anymore, right?
That
The fish,
meme, yeah.
from like Super Friends. And I think luckily the movie has helped a lot. But even
Yeah,
before
I think it
that,
has.
Jeff Johns gave him like this awesome story that's worthy of the character and makes him not a laughing stock.
Yeah, there was just to add on to that a little bit. There was a joke in Family Guy. I don't know if you know the episode of a woman.
Oh,
I know
I
exactly
remember.
what you're
I think I
talking
know.
She's getting like mugged on the beach.
She's getting like
and-
raped or something.
and,
Like
and
attacked.
he's just like, and he's like, all right, sorry, you got to come a little bit further in the ocean. I can send some fish your way, and then fish are just like.
He's like, yeah, I bet you won't do that over here, you
Yeah.
fuck. It is good.
I love
that's-
Aquaman.
I do too.
I like that Jason Momoa is Aquaman, and now I'm like going down to hang out with my aunt, and she's like, "Oh, I just watched that new Aquaman movie." I'm like, "What?"
Ooh,
She's
yeah.
like, "Oh, this is really good." I thought Aquaman was okay. She was like, "I thought it was great." And it's like, "Yeah, I bet you thought it was great." Fucking shirtless Jason Momoa running around.
Wasn't he Carl?
Khal Drogo.
Drogo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And,
Jason Momoa, got to start in Game of Thrones pretty much, and then
Right.
he got casted as Aquaman, and that's
Yeah,
his
good.
new big thing. And I think he's in like
He's in a ton of
an
shit.
Apple.
Yeah, he has like an
TV
app, and then he
show.
had he had another one on Netflix for a while. I like him a lot.
I love. I like. Thanks, Jason Momoa,
he
for
in
making
this
my
one? Yeah,
aunt
he is.
like comic books. Like that's sick, dude. My 57-year-old aunt. But either way, loved a lot of New 52. Jeff Johns, amazing. Favorite runs, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wow, blew me away.
I actually I
I've
didn't
never-
read. It's his new 52 run.
New 52 run
I'll have to look it
was amazing. I don't think Jeff Johns did the New 52 run for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But amazing. I'll bring it over next time I see you guys because I want everybody to read it. It was so good.
Yeah.
I've never read a Wonder Woman comic ever before.
I
and
actually haven't either.
I picked it up. I thought it would be okay. I was blown the fuck away.
All right, I gotta
was-
give it a read.
After, so I have the graphic novels up to the 5th or 6th one. That's when the main writer ends his arc and it goes on to somebody new, and it's
And
not as good.
It's not as cool.
that's kind of the thing with those long continuities is
Yeah.
like it changes hands a lot.
and then it's like, yeah, you might not like the direction they're
Yeah, like
taking it.
I'm reading Green Arrow Rebirth run, and that's interesting. And mainly I'm reading it because Black Canary's in it, who's my favorite.
I love Black Canary.
My
yeah.
favorite superhero ever. Black
Yeah.
Canary's like my shit. But like the artist rendition of Green Arrow and Black Canary, his name is Otto Schmidt, and I love it. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Art is a big key for me too. Like
Yeah.
where I'm like, I need to visually enjoy what I'm looking
Yeah.
at for the like. There's stuff like even I read Dark Knight Returns like the big classic one.
Yeah.
And like the art in that's like
How
it's
is that?
it's
It
like
is weird.
It's 16. It's like rare. They don't do this really often anymore, but like it's like 16 panels per page, and it's usually like very small things going through. And like I think it's interesting. I love that story. It's obviously a
Yeah.
classic and all, but like it's definitely.
Did you read
feel the
Master
age.
Race? The
No,
the
I
final
didn't.
part?
I
Okay.
didn't end up reading the
So,
other follow-ups.
Who wrote
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller.
He wrote he wrote Dark Knight Returns,
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's
which is like the movie is the thing that like every Batman movie is based off of basically.
Frank Miller does a lot of those dark ones, but it's the same panel style as Watchmen, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. No, Watchmen's a little bit
Watchmen,
different.
Watchmen
That's-
like goes in between like a normal style and like whatever. The
And it
fuck
does have
wants
those
to be.
every
then
once in a
those
while.
weird,
Yeah,
long
yeah, yeah.
writing ones, and it's just a page.
I
of, like, weird
really
things.
love the art style of the
exposition.
original
Oh,
Watchmen.
fuck, it's so
yeah,
good. So
what
cool.
is it called? Is it Under the Hood? Hollis Mason's book about being
Oh man, about being
Night
Owl.
Owl, yeah.
what's his name?
Night Owl.
Night Owl. Okay, okay. And then they go through like that
Have
randomly.
you read Watchmen?
Portions of it.
It's-
I'm actually a big fan of the 4.5 hour like extended cut.
The movie? Yeah, no, dude.
Yeah.
Of the
I watched. I actually
Yeah.
bought
Great.
that because I read the
Yeah.
book and I was
Yeah.
like, man, I do want to watch this whole movie. And like, it's funny because I feel like when that first came out, people were like, this isn't very good. But I feel like people have warmed up to it a lot. And I think
Yeah.
it takes the. I would love to have seen that giant squid, but
Same,
I
man.
don't think.
But-
but I don't think they could have. That people would have accepted that back then as much,
Yeah.
which I think makes sense.
I wasn't a fan of the giant squid at the end.
Really?
And then
Oh,
I watched
really?
the
I like-
show.
Yeah.
And then I really liked
Like,
the giant
see,
squid.
yeah, that's the thing.
Watchmen.
Oh,
on
I
HBO.
haven't seen the
show's
show. Oh, I don't have
fantastic.
HBO.
So good. Borrow my
Get
HBO.
HBO. Get
my
HBO.
HBO go?
Watch it together. It's 8 episodes. It's one season.
I've
It's
seen
really-
all Watchmen.
Yeah,
I love
okay.
Watchmen.
It's fucking
Yeah.
fantastic.
I'm
It is.
disappointed
It's a
they're
good
not-
companion piece to the.
What Injustice? That was awesome.
Awesome.
That was so cool.
dude,
I've
get-
never seen
No, it
anything
was
like
awesome.
that.
Giving context to the squid and being like, oh, like Adrian Veidt did this to trick everyone and basically like make
character.
everyone scared and like being able to manipulate everyone with it.
He was
Well, I
he was the one he's the
Ozymandias.
CEO
Ozymandias,
of
yeah.
the, yeah, right. And he's
Yeah.
the smartest man in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the cleverest, and he
He can
turns
catch a
everyone
bullet if he
against.
wants to.
The
Yeah.
only thing I
Yeah.
didn't like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did
He
it.
did, right? Didn't
Yeah, he
do
did,
it?
but
Yeah,
I didn't
he
like it in
wins.
the movie as much because he has like a glove on, which I know it sounds weird,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's like he could have some stuff. Like I like in the comic he catches it with his bare hands.
Yeah.
And he like gets. I don't know why I find that to be a tiny bit more powerful, but I still enjoy that scene a lot.
Yeah.
I don't love.
I mean,
Man,
they take a
that's
lot of
why.
odd liberties with
And
Ozymandias.
I would have been curious to have read that comic before I saw the movies because I feel like they really present Veidt in the comic a lot more aloofly, if that's even a word. Like you don't really get much on him until the end.
Right.
But like
When
in the
it-
movie,
when
it's
him-
an
when,
once you see him,
Rorschach
you're like,
and Night
well,
Owl
he is
go
the
up
bad
to
guy.
his office
The
and
way
they
he's
figure
kind
it
of
out.
Yeah.
mustache
Ramses
twirling.
too. Was the
Yeah.
password to his computer?
Yeah.
Ramses too. Yeah.
And like, but I think, what's his name? Who plays him in the show?
Who?
The
Jazzy
actor
Man.
that
Jeremy
plays,
Ir-
Jeremy
yeah,
Irons
nice.
is awesome
actor,
in that
yeah.
role.
Hello,
Loved
Robert
it.
Redford.
Yeah.
It's me, Adrian Veidt.
He's really good. But there were some things I didn't love in that show, but I do think for overall,
so good.
it's a
I
very
thought it
great
was-
companion
yeah. I
piece.
thought it was. I loved it. I thought it was a great follow up to the comic. I
Alan
thought it
Moore
was
didn't
so
want to put
fun.
his. Did you guys ever read about Alan Moore?
I love Alan Moore.
He's
I'm a
he's
huge
such
Alan
a
Moore
weird
fan.
little hermit
Lunatic.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like he is a
He is a
lunatic.
weird dude.
Like the way he
He's
did.
an anarchist, right?
I think so, but he had his name. He has his name taken off basically every
yeah.
adaptation. That's like when you watch Watchmen, it says characters drawn by I can't remember the guy who drew it, and then it doesn't include Alan Moore at all.
He got thrown under the bus like hardcore.
Well,
didn't
no,
he?
I
Like,
think-
didn't
I think
fuck-
he, like-
fuck up real bad.
I think
he was
got-
young. He got he got like what
Yeah.
2%, right? Of
No,
like,
I think
overall?
I thought he like actually made off like a bandit.
I'm
from
sure
what I'm
from
reading,
from being like where
and
he
and
was.
now he's like, and now he's very sour whenever anyone makes a thing
Right.
on
It's
his
just
stuff.
like, my shit's better.
it's gonna be
Fuck
fun.
you
Yeah,
guys.
he
and
did
like
too
even
much
like,
acid. And he just
I probably
tweaked
did.
it.
yeah, no, he probably did.
He's
and
a weird dude.
He likes doing acid.
But
and
he wrote a
magic
lot
tricks.
of really good.
he
comic
did,
books.
he
Incredible
did, and even like the
comics.
new
V for
Swamp-
Vendetta.
Swamp Thing's run.
Swamp
is-
Thing's awesome.
So Swamp Thing season 1, I mean the only season of Swamp
Yeah.
Thing, is based off.
It's based off Alan Moore's run, and it's
Yeah.
fucking fantastic. I really that show gone too soon, but yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't
no,
mean
no.
to
Yeah,
interrupt
like
you.
Alan Moore, he's very creative, and I guess most like really creative people like that aren't usually very normal,
Or
quote
nice.
unquote.
Not
Yeah,
really,
He's not-
like you usually
Yeah.
have to kind of be a little bit more off the
Like
Right.
Tolkien
Off the
was
beaten
kind
path,
of weird
yeah.
for his time.
Yeah,
for sure.
He
Like,
looks
there's-
like Hagrid. He looks like a wizard.
Really?
He's got
Yeah, Alan
long
Moore,
gray
yeah.
hair and
Yeah.
a crazy
Yeah, no,
beard
he's
and
nuts.
dark circles under his eyes. He does.
He looks like he
to
writes
do
comics.
acid and
No, he
magic.
does.
He
Yeah.
looks like he
Tricks.
writes comics. Huh?
Yeah, it's like,
he
what do
looks
you do?
like
Well,
it,
you either like paint or you do comics or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah, that's
the latter.
yeah. I don't know.
I
But
love Alan Moore.
Speaking of, I don't mean to change topics
No,
down
no,
here
no.
abruptly, but speaking of kind of crazy celebrities, I don't know. Do you guys follow Tom Segura at all?
I know the comedian, not too much. I liked his He's the reason I watched this weird video of this guy eating poop and pee.
He looks up some really
Wait.
on his podcast,
Let's stop
but-
right there. What?
You guys want to see this video?
No,
This
I
guy
don't
eating
want
poop
to.
and
But
pee?
he's kind of just
I can show you.
he is the segue into this thing for me because okay, quick question: who do you guys think makes the most money off of live concert venues and
Like
stuff
what
like
company?
no, what singer or music?
Michael
acts?
Bolton.
Okay. Who would you guys guess like rakes in the most money, like just tour wise? Like
Jay-Z.
okay.
Oh, that's Jay-Z. and
Jerry
Beyonce.
Seinfeld.
No, it's a musician.
It's a musician.
Stay in the music, man. Stay in the
Okay, we're staying
What do
music.
you
We're staying
think,
music. Jerry Seinfeld has an album.
A musician that makes the most money off of touring.
Touring and like I think it's like albums and everything. Like the highest pay, one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid musician.
I don't know, like Bono
Paul
or-
McCartney.
for some reason, I'm thinking Jimmy Buffett. And,
Michael Jackson.
I feel like you guys
Even
are
though
not
he's
gonna
dead.
expect this at
No,
all.
no.
So any more guesses?
Shakira.
It's not a bad guess.
Oh,
I feel
awesome.
like I would have heard like actually. Okay, so Garth Brooks.
What?
Really?
Garth Brooks.
What a rando. I mean,
makes
not really,
an
but like,
insane amount of money. Like some that I just like once it was. I'm like, how is it's not like I never hear anyone talk about Garth Brooks, and I
Yeah,
guess it would probably be down in the South more maybe that people are.
It's-
But like, and dude, if you follow this guy on Instagram. And
Garth
there's
Brooks?
there's this running joke with Tom. He's like, where are the bodies? Where are you hiding the bodies, Garth? Come on, G. It's because like he posts these things. Like there's one video he posts about him talking like about how he's getting on Facebook. He's like, yeah, my friend was talking to me, and he's like, well, Garth, come on, you got to do it. Just think of it like a conversation. He's like, and then you know what? I said, I like that. I really like that.
What?
Like it's so, guys, you have to watch some of his videos.
Garth Brooks
They
sounds
are literally,
terrifying.
and if you go to it now, if you go to all his social media posts now, it goes, all he just keeps saying like, Garth, where's the bodies? Please, I need my wife. Where did you put?
What
like,
did you do?
Like, what did you do with my wife?
Garth, please.
And then there was another one where it was like on his birthday, and like he's doing a video, and like these like something happens that I guess like this people are coming in to show him like a surprise party or something, like, or throw him a surprise party, and they walk in the door, and he's like, and like you can see the way he like changes demeanor, like he goes, the door opens, he goes, what's that? Is that supposed to happen? And then they're coming in and like starting to
This
sing
is
happy. He's like,
so
and he's like,
weird.
oh, it's G's birthday today. That's right. Oh, my,
What?
dude, you have
Garth-
to look up these videos.
Garth Brooks is on drugs.
Dude,
Brooks
or-
is a mess.
So I'm just on his Wikipedia page. As of 2020, Brooks is now the only artist in music history to have released 9 albums that achieved diamond status in the United States, surpassing the Beatles' former record of 6. Those albums are Garth Brooks' Diamond, No Fences, Rope in the Wind, The Chase, In Pieces. The list goes on. But that's nuts. I never would have
Why?
thought.
Dude, I don't know.
know.
I'm
and like I
confused.
never. It's not like I ever feel like I hear anyone talk about him either.
No.
So that's
I-
why it's just the weirdest thing
He's
to me.
not- let me-
like
Right.
what you
Let me
said,
see
maybe
on
it's
the
because
It's more
we're
the
up north.
southern-
Maybe
yeah, like-
he's.
But
so,
dude, I think he is a serial killer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
So Brooks is one of the world's best-selling music artists, having sold more than 170 million records.
This fucking guy.
that fucking
This
guy.
guy-
Let me
Yeah.
see what it looks like.
This guy. I'm like trying to get a picture of my. I'm thinking this handsome chiseled.
Dude, but like
Henry
it's gotten to this
Cavill
point
guy.
like where I feel like he's so famous that and it's I feel like I've seen this with other
Right, like that
celebrities where,
guy-
and even like
He's
like
just
that they
a-
just don't know how to be like a
Normal
normal
human
human being.
being.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they've been told their whole life that they're so good, and even like I feel like I used to kind of like Matthew McConaughey a lot, and and they start posting this stuff on Instagram. It's like, man, you just gotta let it all live, gotta let it flow through you,
He
and
kind of like
and, like-
became a character of himself.
and I'm like, is
Yeah,
this?
no, that's exactly, yeah, that's
And again,
exactly
like
right.
it's just this thing of like I'm like, wow, no one told you to shut up in college, did they? Like no one,
yeah,
like
now he knows
everyone's
he's
like,
never told
you're
you
the
stuff.
man, like that's
Yeah.
so
And then
genius,
you have,
Garth
like,
G. What do you do? Or even like
Matt
that.
Damon, who's the most like normal celebrity, and everyone makes fun of him. Like
Matt
every
Damon.
every chance they
Matt
get. But like Matt Damon, like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon always make fun of each other. But like
they're best
I think
friends,
they're
though,
buddies,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Buddy
right,
buddies,
but
they
like,
work
but
together
like
or something
Matt Damon appears to be like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's that blew my mind
Yeah.
for some reason when I learned about it.
Speaking of Ben Affleck, did you guys have beef with Batfleck? Like, I didn't think he was that bad. Like, right?
No, I
Do I have beef with one of the greatest Batman of all time?
Yeah, like there's. I
Ben
mean, like
Affleck?
I don't know.
No.
There was such a heat
What?
about it.
I as soon as I saw that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, it totally turned me off.
Really?
No,
I
a
saw
lot of
it,
and a
I
lot of
didn't-
people
I
did.
saw
No,
it,
no, no,
yeah,
yeah.
At the like the
On the
beginning.
onset, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
right.
Like
I think
Batman, Superman.
a lot of people
I heard
agreed
it was
with
awful.
you.
Batman
I like
versus
Batman.
Superman.
Batman vs Superman.
I
I went
didn't
in.
see
I
any of it.
love.
I'll let Gian
Bat-
talk.
I
I'll
love-
come in like
Gooch has talked about this about 80,000 times.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked about this. I think when we talked.
we
about
have a
Jedis,
podcast
actually.
that it is a debate on whether BVS
good.
is good or not. but-
It's so I went in super excited for Batman vs Superman. It's not, in my opinion, not super great, but it had a lot of potential. Now I know you guys have a very different opinion.
I have a very different
Gooch is extreme. I think it's a lot better movie than people give it credit
Yeah,
for.
it's not
and I
trash.
also think one thing that really fucked it over with the initial reception was not. There's an extended cut of the movie that is like 30 minutes
If
longer.
you haven't watched it, you need to.
Yeah, I
Right,
truly
okay.
do
You
think
need
it
to.
will
It's
make
the only
listen,
version you need to
and I know,
watch.
and the original was like 2.5 hours, and I get that. People,
is
it's if you're not as committed, I get it. That's a tough kind of ask, but I think if you like these movies and you didn't really love BVS the original cut, the extended really does make a difference in the way of like they cut Superman's basically almost entire arc in the theatrical cut, and it literally makes it
entire arc.
and
So
like
it didn't make any sense.
and there's just
Right,
like parts.
yeah.
So like at the beginning, for instance, they're in the desert, and
Nairobi,
like by
Kenya.
the end, yeah, and like
be
for
exact.
some, and by the end,
It's that dream
Gooch knows
sequence.
exactly where they are.
It's the dream sequence,
No,
right?
it's not the
No,
dream
no,
sequence. So this is
no.
the beginning of
This
BVS.
is like the
it's
very
like
beginning.
Okay.
Lois Lane is like in wherever
Oh,
Gooch just said,
yeah.
and like she's with like I guess extremists of some kind, and
Yeah, like a warlord.
these guys come in and like start shooting everyone and they kill everyone, and then Superman comes in to save Lois, and then somehow they pin all the murders onto Superman, and you're like, well, how did this This doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't get. They
Yeah.
were all shot. But then it shows in the extended cut. Oh, they burned the bodies to make it look like
Superman.
I mean, it
Oh,
wouldn't
and,
make the-
and also that reporter that just got shot, that's Jimmy Olsen.
which was a stupid throwaway.
who's
to
a
me.
CIA G-man, which is a comic plug from Red Sun and some other comics when he's like an actual like government
Yeah,
agent.
that's one thing I didn't like. It felt like a
but
weird
they, but
throwaway.
they bring Jimmy Olsen in to kill him, and then like Lex Luthor is
But
like,
that is in the original cut.
Lex Luthor's like goons, like KG Beast, that Russian big guy is KG Beast from the comics.
Right. I don't like what's his name?
Anatoly, whatever.
Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
He's a-
That's my one
yeah.
complaint. I wanted a bigger guy.
He's a different type of Lex.
He is
I mean,
a-
he's Lex Luthor Jr. for
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
He's not like I just think by name like kind of gives you like differentiate it from like your normal Lex Luthor.
yeah.
But like I
Gives
think
it a
he-
maybe a bit
his-
more sporadic.
He's young. He's like Lex Luthor is always like a normal like adult. Like
Lex Luthor.
Like in this, he is a young, crazy fucking dude.
Yeah, and I
And like
don't,
he hates Superman,
I
and he
agree with
hates
him.
like what he like embodies in
I'm
a
with
very
it.
like
I'd
not
be with
spiritual
Lex.
sense, but like ideology sense.
the
Yeah.
long and short of it, if you like Batman and or Superman, and you're willing to give it that 3-hour shot, which I know is a big ask,
You
I
you
think you should.
Okay.
And
No,
I mean,
I
and you
love
might, and
that.
honestly, you might end up not liking it.
So
I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
One of my favorite just animated DC films of all time was the Return of the Dark Knight.
Oh yeah,
Part
Oh,
1
yeah.
and 2. I think
those
that
are
was-
great ones. Yeah.
Was that Frank Miller?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's
okay,
based off that story. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
That
think
was-
it's
they're-
it to
it's
the
great.
T,
It's
but
great.
yeah.
Great. Oh my god, I fell in love with like that was the first time I've ever watched anything that was remotely superheroes.
Yeah.
And this was a couple
Really?
years
Oh,
ago when I
dude.
watched it.
So
I watched
good.
it with Damon.
Oh yeah,
Damon
absolutely.
and
Some of
Taylor. And I was
DC's
just
animated
like, whoa.
movies are
DC
really
has
top
a
tier.
plethora of very good animated
Flashpoint
films.
Paradox?
Justice.
Yeah.
Oh, Flashpoint is
Holy
amazing.
shit.
Yeah.
Flashpoint's a great
So
comic
that
too, man.
actually that was the event that originally started off the New 52.
Yeah, man.
Which is
Oh.
so that's what caused
Yeah.
that whole.
Okay.
So-
52
Yeah.
multiverse.
And I think it looks like they're doing a version of that, not to the T, but in the new Flash movie that they're doing.
Yeah. Which Ben Affleck is now in again.
Which I
Awesome.
still can't believe. But back to your initial question, do I
Yeah.
like Ben Affleck's Batman? Yeah, aesthetically and just the way he acts, I think he does embody Bruce Wayne very well.
Yeah.
And that just the fat bat, the big the
I need to
hulking
think-
suit, like he's been doing this for
Yeah.
20 years. He is fucking people up.
He's fucked.
All
he
does
is
is
fucked
people
mentally
and
both and physically.
So this is past him being the new Batman.
He has been
Right.
Batman
Like, he's
for
been-
20
right.
years by
20
that.
years older Batman.
Maybe 30 years.
20
Yeah.
years in
That makes more-
Gotham
that
now.
makes
Yeah,
more
that's
sense.
exactly yeah.
I'm-
So and now we're lucky because now we're getting a more not totally new, but a more fresh on the job Batman in Robert Pattinson's Batman, which we just got a
Right.
trailer for
And
the
that
other
Batman
day.
is
Yeah.
literally like this is the second year he's been Batman.
Yeah.
He's he's just the hood. He's not the bat yet.
Well, I think he's still
Is he a
technically he's the
bat?
Batman.
He's the
By
Batman
that,
now.
it's his second year
I'm
of
curious
being
if they're
Batman.
gonna call him that.
I think they're gonna call him
Because
Batman.
so there's an HBO tie-in show that is supposed to be about the GCPD year
during
one.
the first where he's
Awesome.
sort of
Gotham
finally
City
coming on the scene.
police department.
Honestly,
Yeah, it's almost like what
cool.
Gotham was supposed to be on
Oh
Fox.
man, Gotham.
I watched the whole thing.
Did you watch all of Gotham?
Yup.
Really? Yeah. Oh my
I am
god.
dedicated.
I've seen like parts. There's some good parts. But
I watch a show. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just finished up. I cannot wait to watch that final season
Yeah.
because I love shows ending.
Oh, dude.
I feel like it means so much when a show ends.
Right. It doesn't go on like The Simpsons for 31 seasons.
Right.
or they know when to end it perfectly.
Right.
One thing
Oh,
I
like sorry, just
No.
like Last Airbender ended perfectly.
Yeah.
Legend of
How
Korra
many
ended
seasons
perfectly.
best ending. Last Airbender
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
so-
best ending
it
I've
was
ever
just
seen
three.
in
It was
a
only
villain.
That's
three
it.
books.
Apparently-
I feel like it's
But
like
20
six.
episodes. 20 episodes.
Never-
So
Right,
suppose from what I was
60
reading online, there was
60
actually
episodes.
supposed to be an extra season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but they scrapped it for Korra.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, after the ending with the Fire Lord, I hope I'm not giving away too many spoilers. I didn't know how he was going to beat the Fire Lord.
No,
I
he's
remember
got-
going
Lion
into-
Turtle, man.
Had no idea.
I just
Lion
watched
Turtle
that
and
episode last night. I'm on the last episode. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Avatar Aang, the
I like
greatest
marathon
Avatar
that
of all
a
time.
week.
Yeah,
in a
dude.
week. It was
But
so-
Parks and Rec was another example of one that ended just like perfectly.
Oh,
It was Parks and Rec.
yeah.
I really,
absolutely.
They
my
kinda-
girlfriend had me watch that. Great show.
Like,
I,
They just capped it off.
Walking Dead is an example of a show that needed to
probably
end
should have ended,
seasons
like,
ago.
I
5
loved,
years
I
ago.
loved,
Right.
I loved Walking Dead too.
those first couple seasons are awesome.
They were great. They don't
really
once
are.
they start getting off the comic spiel, and I know they have to because it's a TV show and it's a different
fuck it.
adaptation.
They need
Holy shit, they need to pull it back.
Yeah.
They need to pull
That whole
it back.
Terminus season, I
like
was
the
like,
comic
oh.
is done. They can't do the comic book ending.
They
Yeah.
can't.
Rick and Carl aren't in the show. They just can't fucking do it.
It's
That
bad.
is
The
the
actors
truly
left,
most
right?
baffling
The
thing.
actors left,
Which
Yeah.
is
insane.
insane.
Like all of the main characters.
Like,
yeah. Michonne is leaving.
She needs to, man.
Like Denai Guerrera's career is, she's gotten.
She's blowing up a bit more.
Black Panther and Civil War and Endgame, Infinity
Oh my
War.
God! And
right?
Rip Chadwick Boseman. Oh my God!
Dude, that's right.
Oh
yeah.
my
Right?
God!
How about that?
Forgot.
I didn't know. I got a
Yeah, that was
text
the pair-
late
that was-
last night.
died-
Black Panther, the
I-
actor who plays Black Panther.
Yeah, he died
suddenly.
suddenly. So he apparently had colon cancer for like years, but
So
it wasn't
The
public.
guy in the most recent film. That
Yeah,
the
guy who
plays
plays
Black
Black Panther.
I thought that was
Chadwick Boseman, right?
I
I'm
thought that
pronouncing
was
correctly.
who was
Not
the guy
Michael-
that
Michael
played
B.
Creed?
Jordan's in it.
I thought
Michael B. Jordan
Nah,
He's
he was
the
the bad
villain
guy,
in
but
it.
but a lot of
was
people did.
awesome.
Yeah,
He was awesome, and I love
Yeah,
Michael
so
B.
he
Jordan.
had
He was the bad. He was the bad. He was the
he was a
villain?
bad guy in that. Yeah.
Oh.
So Chadwick Boseman had colon cancer literally through like most of his like career. Because like
Yeah.
he's not like an old actor. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
I think he was like 46.
He was in
mid-40s.
43.
Yeah,
43.
Yesterday's the day Jackie Robinson died.
Oh my
And he
God!
played
was
him-
Fucked up is
And he
that?
played him in the. That's a really good
And
movie
apparently
too.
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby's birthday's today.
Rest in peace,
Wow,
Jack Kirby.
what?
Wow!
Holy, and
Oh
like
my
how
God.
weird is that?
Dude, wow!
And then-
Oh my God!
There was another weird
Jack
quote, yeah.
Kirby, greatest thing that ever happened to Marvel.
Yeah,
Greatest
that's
thing
real-
that ever
Jack
happened to
Kirby
Marvel.
is.
I love Jack Kirby.
I feel like, and now that Stan Lee has died, I feel like they need to like. Stan Lee has always kind of been weird with Jack talking about Jack Kirby
Yeah.
in any of those times. Because I think they fucked Jack Kirby so hard that like Stan Lee just really couldn't own up to it, and like I don't really think it's Stan Lee's fault.
No,
I
it's
think
business.
it's just kind of the way the business and the way the pieces fell.
It's
And
terrible.
Jack Kirby just kind of was like.
Yeah, there's some. I
That
mean, there are
guy.
some legitimately really sad stories in the world of comics, just for
Right.
the creators, just not
Just
like
getting fucked
I mean,
over.
the Schuster brothers. Schultz, who, was that who
the
created?
Superman kid.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's
Schuster.
Schuster. Yeah, the brothers.
Bob Kane and Bill Finger is Batman.
That-
Joel
so, yo.
Joel Schuster is it?
No, Schuster are the Superman brothers.
Yeah.
But then, like, have you heard the story of Bob? Not
The guy
Bob
who
Ca-
helped create Batman.
yeah.
Bill,
How much
right?
Bill Finger? Like, dude, there's a really good
There's
documentary.
a documentary on
Hulu.
Hulu. Yeah, I know.
Batman and Bill, dude.
I didn't
it's
watch it. Was it good?
it's
Is it
it's
sad?
awesome. It's sad because
Yeah.
like it really is like he just got complete and it's weird because like Bob Kane like he wasn't admitting it and he was like or he wasn't like he would never make the concession. Then all of a sudden for some reason like he was doing his autobiography or he was having a ghostwriter write his autobiography and like the guy was taping sessions with him and he's like, well, how much do you think Bill really like when it comes to Batman, like how much do you think he really came up with? And he's like, I'd say like 75%.
Holy shit.
Like it was this weird, like maybe I guess good on him for finally like giving him the credit.
He
Like,
had to. Yeah.
but like, yeah, I mean the original Batman design for him was a guy in a red leotard with a domino mask and hard wings, and
Fuck
like
that,
Bill
yeah.
Finger literally came in and gave him.
make him cool.
Made him everything that gave him all the things that we know.
Made him an
Batmobile
edgelord,
made him,
yeah.
gave him the cow,
Right,
gave
I
him
mean,
all the.
I feel like anyone in Marvel during Stan Lee's time is also kind of like got the shit like Steve Ditko.
well, especially
Yeah.
back in the day, comics just they weren't. That industry sucked to work in.
Yeah.
Like I
Right.
can't like terrible hours, not the most amazing pay. I assume.
Drawing constantly. Can you imagine being an artist at any of these places?
Oh, yeah,
Just
it's-
14 hours just drawing just all day long.
And that's literally what Jack Kirby did, and that's why he left to go to DC and he did
the New Gods.
the
Yeah.
New Gods. Just cap on my side.
I got it.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, no, it really. Look up the story of Bill Finger if you ever get a
real
minute,
quick.
and even the Schuster brothers.
Since I didn't give my opinion of Batman v Superman,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I really
BVS.
want to. Batman v Superman, in my opinion, is the apex of comic book films. It is, in my opinion, the best comic book film. And the reason I think it is because it does so many things on a deeper level than Marvel really has ever done. Like, that movie is hard to understand, especially with the theatrical cut. There's a
Right.
lot of parts cut out of it that just don't make sense. But, like, you need to, like, watch Snyder's Man of Steel and Batman v Superman in the context of... Did I grab that on the air? I don't know. But, in the context of, like, Snyder's treating Superman as a god.
Yeah.
A god.
yeah,
A
I
straight
think
fucking
people.
god.
I think that's
That's
But,
everyone
like,
gets
and-
that. Like that's not.
See, I don't think so.
No, but
That's
But,
Lex
like, you
Luthor's
wa-
fear. That's why Lex
and
hates him.
you watch Batman v Superman, and like the reason it's so dark is because like these themes are just adult and serious,
Yeah.
and like they're not like for kids. And like Zack Snyder, somebody tweeted at him about the Snyder Cut trailer, and he was like, "Yo, this looked like a like journalist of some sort, of some caliber. He was verified, you know?
Right,
He's
right,
legit.
right. He was real. He had the check mark.
Yeah,
That barely
and he
means
goes,
anything.
And he goes, if you watch that trailer and really think that like the Justice League version and this version look the same, is like you're not like you
didn't pay attention.
idea
Hey,
what
yeah.
you're talking about.
There's been
and he goes, this isn't for kids, and it's
Yeah.
like this is like I think he made a remark about like it being like his Saturday morning cartoons. He's like, this is not what this is.
Yeah.
This is the you're in the wrong demographic. Like this is an adult movie. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Fuck yeah.
and I'm not saying Marvel isn't for adults, but like Marvel hasn't like really gone into that.
No,
And-
they
and it won't.
they haven't really taken.
for adults. You can say it.
No,
You're
no,
safe here. Goose. I
Right.
got
No, but like it is directed toward kids as well.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah, no,
course.
it's
I'm
true.
not-
Well, no, it's and I mean, I honestly, I think Justice League will have like kids will be able to watch Justice League. I would be surprised if they aren't.
Apparently not according to Zack Snyder.
What did he say? Is it
he
going to be
just
like
said
R?
it's an adult film.
It's so.
To be honest, I do think that's sort of dumb.
I
personally, but
I
I don't
don't.
like. I think Zack Snyder's a good director, and I think he has a cool vision. I don't think everything he does is gold, like I think
Right.
Gooch does in a lot of ways, which is fine.
I don't think everything he does is gold. I
But
just
I
think
also-
people give Batman v Superman such a bad rap, and people just don't fucking understand it.
Well, but
Like they don't understand how Lex
And I will-
Luthor
and I
is
will
like
give that-
ahead of the game from the beginning, and like he knows everything, and
Lex
he's
Luthor's
plotted
but
so
the
that is
whole
also
fucking movie.
game,
but that is
man.
the that is the
Just
fault
wait.
of the movie, not the audience members, in my opinion.
So-
Like if 90,
I mean, the
if
theatrical
most of the
cut, sure,
and that's
Yeah.
the issue. It's the people wanting to come in. Like those people were like, all right, well, if we put it for 3 hours long, we can only get X amount of showings in a theater per day. All right, go through, cut a half an hour off, so we
and
can
now,
have 3
and now
more
they're
things
being
in.
like Zack Snyder. We're gonna give you 4 hours or whatever you want
That's
to do
awesome.
for fucking Justice.
And I can't
League.
wait.
And yeah, we. Were
I wanted
wrong.
more Superman beatdowns. I wanted Batman. I really expected. I thought that was the biggest buildup is
Dude,
Batman beating the shit out of Superman. I wanted like I beat you. I wanted a totally lost, off hinge Bruce Wayne where he was just pummeling.
Did you want like the Dark Knight Returns?
Yes, I wanted the Dark Knight
monologue?
Returns.
I think I
love
would have loved to see that thing of him just be like,
It is
I
in a
don't
different
hate you.
context,
I just
though.
wanted to show you that I could beat
Right.
you.
Right.
In your,
Yeah.
in
And
your
like
weak-
that-
in,
but
in
like-
your weakest moments.
Yeah,
Right.
Like,
remember this.
Yeah.
But
I'm
and
the
that is a
one man
difference
who beats
who
you.
beats you,
and then he
it's-
has a heart attack.
He is the one man.
And then he
that
has the
beat
heart
us.
attack. That's right. Yeah.
And but like, and even like the Martha thing, I'm like, people like.
People give that a bad.
And I'm
rap,
just like,
but it
dude,
was rap.
imagine
It
your
was-
mom is gunned down in front of you and an alley systematically executed in front of you. Like, the name is going to give you, like, a trigger, like, you have no idea.
Right.
And, like, why would he just say that?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I'm
and
just
I mean,
like, I'm
I-
like, do you not get that? I'm like,
I
Batman's
think-
parents is, like, it's been said so many times, but, like, it is so integral to everything Batman
Right.
is.
No,
Well,
and
that was what started the whole I fight for justice now. was
Yeah, I
the
mean,
fact that
an
his
8-year-old
parents
kid
got-
takes an oath by himself by candlelight to fight crime.
I think.
He-
Well,
yeah,
isn't
and
that,
that's
isn't
like-
that
that's-
what
that's-
happened though?
yeah,
Isn't
no,
that-
it is.
I don't know.
I mean,
No,
like,
it-
in a way he does, but as he matures, like he he understands better what he needs to
And the
do
one- but-
for like that
Guys.
that like
The one thing
MO
that is
to the whole
Batman
thing.
is mentally ill. Like you know, like he's brilliant. He's super great and he's super strong. And
No, he has
he's
mental
obsessed.
yeah.
He's obsessed.
Mind.
The one
He's
thing that really does
lunatic.
break the universe, though, for me in Batman vs Superman, especially considering he's a 20-year-on Batman, is that he kills people. Why didn't he kill the Joker? Why is the Joker still
Yeah, that's a
alive?
good point.
I think like
Especially if he killed
in
Robin.
BVS, I think we're seeing a Batman who like it just got to the point. Like maybe when he was confronting the Joker, he wasn't at that point yet, but now he is. He's lost to Robin. We know that.
He's killed
And,
Todd.
Yeah,
no,
like,
apparently it's Dick Grayson.
It's
Which is
Dick
another
Grayson.
thing that I
we don't know who it is.
Really?
We don't know
I
what's
thought,
Robin.
I thought you said he said it was Dick. I thought you sent something in D&D where it was him responding.
Did we say that?
I feel like Zack Snyder has like loosely said that, but like it's never. There's no proof that that's
Should
what
be
it is.
Jason
And I mean, that's the other with. No, I
love
agree.
Nightwing.
So
I
like
love-
Batman has seen some shit. Like he says, 20 years in Gotham. How many good guys are left? How many stayed
None.
that way? Like he
Yeah.
like literally says like we've seen shit. So like I don't know him killing people in like that warehouse scene in BVS where it's like
is
the
awesome.
greatest Batman scene ever because like just the
slams
carnage
the head
of it.
on the fucking
like,
when
and
he
I'm
just
just like.
slides across and slams that dude's head. And
I'm like, look at
that
the
was
games.
sick,
He
yeah.
like fucking kill. He might as well kill people in the games.
Yeah,
Like,
but no,
fucks
but
them
that's
up.
still that's not the issue for me. There is the Joker's still out and about. He killed his Robin.
Right.
Why would he not be spending every waking moment trying to track or
That's a
have
good
done
question.
by now?
It's a good
So
question.
and that's the only game.
yeah.
But to be honest, like I remember watching Batman '89 and Keaton's literally throwing people down bell towers and just like blowing people up. So to a point, I don't care. But I guess that's like I said, it's a bit of a game breaker for me when it gets to a 20-year-on Batman because he would be Scarecrow dead. Everyone else like. Why would you
they
not?
keep
Why would he
calling
not
Killer
kill these
Croc?
people? Yeah,
It's a giant crocodile.
my
He's
favorite.
Yeah.
There's a robot chicken that's amazing, and it's like it's Batman and the Joker, and Joker's like, I think we're gonna do this for a very long time, you and me, Batman. Ha ha ha. And then it cuts to him in the court, and they're like, all right, sentenced to death. Thank you very much. And then he's like, what? And then he's in this chair, and they just kill him. And he's like, I will. And then it's Batman out in the thing. He's like, well, I'm not killing him. So like it's so funny.
I've actually been watching a lot of Robot Chicken.
Robot
Dude,
Chicken's
their
really
Star
good.
Wars
I don't know
ones
why. Their Star
are
Wars ones
so good.
I watched a lot of Star Wars Robot Chicken
We
before we
watched
did
a lot of Star
before we
Wars
did the
Robot
podcast.
The Emperor ones are my favorite
Do we
one.
watch The Family Guy, or do we try to?
Blue
We
Harvest
get
is funny.
Blue
I don't think we watched.
Why is it
I don't
called?
think we
Is it
watched
called
that.
Blue Harvest?
That was the
because of
original
blue milk?
name of the Star Wars script.
Oh, really?
It was-
I
it was-
didn't
it
know
was
that.
codenamed Blue
That's
Harvest,
fun.
too.
That's clever.
Yeah,
Like that's really
I
clever.
was just like,
At
why
least
is it
I
called
don't.
Blue Harvest?
You'll have to. I'm pretty 99% sure that that's correct. But yeah.
So, I mean, I love Batman, and I wanted to say, guys, I did like Ben Affleck. I do like that's my favorite version of Batman. Is a giant 6'3",
And it's-
300
it's a
pound,
real-
just brass
In
knuckle
Batman v
dude.
Superman is like just a mountain of
He's
mass.
gigantic.
No,
I
yeah,
did like
He's
that.
so big.
I wish Wonder Woman were a little bigger too. Honestly, I wish she were
Yeah.
a little like.
I
See,
earlier,
it's
I'm
funny
not
though,
gonna lie.
people
when you
kinda
think
like the
about it, like
opposite
with
of
people
you.
like Wonder Woman or Superman, and this is getting very like deep. Like obviously you don't need to think about it this deep, but like how does Superman gain muscle mass? He can't. Whenever he lifts something, it's a paperweight.
Yeah, he can't curl anything. Like he can't have those
I
Henry
think
Cavill
the explanation
biceps.
for that is that he drinks in the radiation from the sun that literally just makes him giant. But it's still like.
It's like
It's
it's
just
like
interesting to me.
Flashpoint
Yeah.
Superman. He had never been in the sun before,
So
and
he's
he's
just a
twig.
scrawny
He's
little twig,
skinny
yeah.
little guy, and then he, but
He finally lets him go. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess that.
Just-
I
But
wanted,
dude, Robert
Just,
Pattinson.
sorry, just
no,
to
go
add
ahead.
a little bit to that, what you were talking about earlier about how Batman doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Since you brought up Flashpoint, I was gonna bring that up earlier, but
Yeah.
it kind of came up. The first time you see the Batman in the
Thomas Wayne,
Flashpoints in the Paradox universe, he pulls out his guns and is shooting.
Harley Quinn.
Harley
Harley
Quinn,
Quinn. Yeah.
right? Harley
it's
Quinn.
his dad. It's Thomas
yeah, it's
Wayne.
Thomas Wayne.
He's
That's
looking
my
for
favorite.
yeah.
Batman.
That's the fucking.
Her name
yeah.
isn't Harley Quinn. I forget what she's called in
It's
that
like,
in that
yeah.
Flashpoint universe.
But he's
There's the spill.
Wow.
Damn it.
That's all right.
It's whatever. It's
alright.
water.
That's
Water.
alright.
Is it
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, I love that Flashpoint Batman
Scott
too.
was on
I
your
love
phone.
Thomas Wayne just shooting guns.
No,
'cause,
that is a really
that
cool
is a
alternate-
sick Batman.
alternate
you don't
universe
expect
Batman.
it because you don't really know about the universe yet, and then the
He
first
pops
scene
up,
is
yeah.
Batman shooting Harley Quinn or at Harley or
Whatever she's called.
that
Harley
universe
Quinn.
is
Yeah, it's
Dude,
called
Harley
him
Quinn.
shooting Negative Flash in the back of it.
No, that one is great. He's like, not fast enough, you
Awesome.
fuck.
awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome, so sick.
Dude, there's even like, the part where Barry's trying to get his powers again, and he just burns a lot, and he's like, just try it again.
Yeah.
Like that's literally all you can like.
I
good.
love Reverse Flash.
It's-
And,
it-
and
it-
I like the show on the CW. Like they do Reverse Flash in that first season so well.
did
They really
And
do.
I'm just like,
That is peak
he's
Flash.
he's such a good antithesis villain.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
'cause that is
usually-
his- that's
usually
his
those,
base.
Like opposite villains are very boring.
I really like his why do I hate you, Barry? Because fuck you, Barry. I'm
Yeah.
faster than
well,
you.
and like I think in the comics, the idea is he
He's a super fan, right?
he
Like a
recreates
super
the
fan.
thing, or no, does he? He goes to the Flash Museum and then figures out
Steals.
that he is
He
going to
he
be.
works at the Flash.
That's
Museum.
right, and then he figures out that he is
steals
supposed to be
equipment,
Reverse
right,
Flash,
too?
something like that. And then he's like, "Oh, this is this." It's just that is his drive. He's like, "I am here
He has
to fuck with you
and be
It-
better.
it
and
is
also
almost like
be
his
better
Joker
than you're trying
in a
to
way,
be
yeah.
better than you.
A terrible
mirror
man.
image.
Eobard
Yeah,
Thawne,
like
right?
he has to be there. Like Eobard Thawne is part of this like time paradox that almost is like canon.
Yeah.
Like it's strange, but it's cool.
Yeah, man. I love DC Comics. Cyborg is getting. I feel like he didn't get enough screen time in these movies.
His
either.
entire storyline in Justice League is cut out of it.
Yeah, like
He's getting his own movie though.
He
He was
should.
supposed to. I don't know
But
what's.
that's all
I don't
true?
think what's happening.
Okay.
See, I'm really.
But I'm interested to see what his storyline is in the Snyder Cut because Zack Snyder is like he's the heart of the film and his entire storyline. is
I'm
spelled
really
out.
curious to see. I think if Snyder Cut does well, brings him a lot of money, and then the Batman brings it in, does a lot of money, and they seem to be doing this anyways. But we're gonna kind of get to have our cake and eat it too, in the way of maybe Ben Affleck will come back for more movies, and he's kind of this more cosmic Batman that that deals with like these larger things, and like you get those
Right.
comic book panels where he's fucking punching Darkseid or whatever. But then you get
I have no
Fucking
business
sick.
doing that.
but then you exactly
He's there for
but
it.
he's there and he's fucking.
Right.
But then you get your ground. You're not like I still want
You're
Robert.
more in Gotham Batman.
And I still want Patton. I don't want them to do like the Nolan thing that they did where like there's a real world explanation for everything. I want to see like a Killer Croc in Batman in the Batman. I want to see like these more like more extraordinary villains, but not to the point where we're like dealing with space like
Who is it?
space people.
Plasmus? What's that?
Or
big
even like
Clay?
Clayface
Is that who
would
it
be
is?
awesome.
Clayface
Like
is a really cool villain.
Like, I think he would do a really-
the animated series from the 90s.
I've
There's
seen
been,
a
like, 4
bunch
versions of him.
Batman.
A couple episodes, but a long
So
time ago.
I am currently watching the entire DCAU.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice,
Right? The
man.
animated
Did you
series?
rip Justice League
Yeah.
yet? Like the
No,
2000 Justice
so
League
I've
best
watched
series ever,
watched
man.
all of Batman, and
Yeah.
now I'm on the Superman animated series. And like Clayface in the animated series is so good.
Yeah.
Like just just looking at him, like it seems goofy. And like in a movie, I think it would be.
No,
hard
I
to
think
do
it
'em.
would be
But,
really
like,
cool.
They do some like weird, like villains you don't expect to be really good in the animated series. Are really good. That is why Mr. Freeze is so good. That animated series episode
That literally
with him
built
is
his
an
back- yeah.
Emmy award-winning episode,
Yeah.
and like everything from that point takes from
yeah,
that
he was a
episode.
very nothing character before. He was just like,
Yeah.
I'm in a freeze suit.
I got a freeze gun.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
an element.
and
It's
then
very ice to meet you.
Yeah.
and then
Good
Mr.
for you, Arnold.
And then, and then Mr. Freeze is like this like misunderstood villain. Like
Like,
he's
he's just doing
trying
everything
to
he's-
save Nora's wife.
Nora.
And like, yeah, and like everything he does is to save her.
Yeah, I like.
Flash's mother's name.
I like
Nora.
also. I also like that people are. Isn't there theories that like, did Nora even like you? Didn't he not know Nora?
No,
at
I
certain
do. No,
points?
I
Like,
think
where
there,
it's like-
there might be some other like maybe
or he's just
takes on it.
obsessed with her.
But I think it is like the idea is his wife falls to a disease. He's working on cryogenics as a way to
At
save
Gotham.
her,
Yeah,
and
he
he
works for
freezes her
Bruce
so that way the disease doesn't progress. But then through some accident, he becomes Mr. Freeze and needs to be in that cold suit to survive.
And then and the voice he has in it.
I actually never even thought about how Mr. Freeze. I know all the backstory.
Yeah.
That he froze his wife to try to save her, but how did he end up where he in his
I know
position?
in the
I'm
show.
not sure
I remember
what
in
the
Batman vs Robin, Batman and Robin, when he just falls in like this weird cryogenic bath. But I don't know exactly how it happens in the comic
like
books.
the actual, like
Yeah, the actual
real
I don't
canon,
think
yeah.
did
original
they
canon.
actually ever show an origin for him?
There's
I feel
probably
like
one
he's
out
just
there.
kind of there. Like he's just already.
it's one of those like 50s villains where they're like, and here's
And
Top
he-
Hat guy.
yeah.
He's got a long top hat, and here's Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze guy.
Yeah, he's
Mr. Freeze.
always cold. It's,
My
yeah.
favorite. There is that thing with like you do hear stories about Stan Lee, and it's funny. He's just be like, man, write a book where there's a superhero and he's got powers that make him fly. Go, like, let's just give you like the base, like.
And he's just like, oh man,
Oh,
where do you go
still-
from
yeah,
that?
like,
Where do you
I'm-
go with
I'm
that?
just
Like,
like, I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
know what to do. I'd be
But-
like, okay.
Yeah, it's like,
Hawkman.
Hawkman. Oh
Sick,
wow, good.
Sick
That-
hero.
That's what I'm talking
By the
about.
way, I love Hawkman. Justice League of
Dude,
America.
he's
Great-
coming in.
Great new 52
He's coming
series.
into Black Adam. The Black Adam movie. Yeah,
Really?
he's live
He's
action.
I'm
part
hyped.
of the Justice
Doctor
Society.
Fate and Adam Smasher, and then there's another one that's a
I
little
love
lesser known.
Fate. Adam Smasher's fine. I think Hawkman deserves
Dude, he's a
so
cool,
much more.
and he can be a really fucking cool
He's
looking. Like,
badass. You get a big
I think they're
ass-
gonna do him pretty well.
give him a mace. It's
Yeah.
nth metal. It's
Yeah.
he's unstoppable. I love. Yeah.
You know a lot more about comics than I really had figured. You
Really?
did. Yeah,
Oh, dude.
you know a
Dude,
lot.
Gooch is
I know a good
judgy right
amount,
now.
man.
I can
Good.
see
But,
it.
but, like,
now.
I don't, sometimes you don't expect people to know like all that shit,
Yeah.
and I'm very
Yeah,
surprised.
thank you.
like,
I
loved-
it started with Doom Patrol, and I'm like, Doom Patrol.
I
You
love
read
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. I'm like,
Doom
that's
Patrol was fucking
interesting.
awesome. That was a weird jump for me. I was in and out of stuff, and then I saw Doom Patrol. I was like, let me fucking try.
Yeah,
it out.
I'm in.
Grant Morrison, love Grant
Please
Morrison.
watch the show.
Oh,
and then get
I'm
back to me.
absolutely going
Yeah,
to watch
definitely.
the show.
I think from what you've been saying, you will definitely enjoy it.
So I ran my last night. I ran a D&D group, and they're all really into DC, and they have my one buddy has a DC app, and they were telling me about Doom Patrol. Because the scenario, and I forget what the comparison is. I was pretty drunk, but either way, they've been pushing me to watch Doom Patrol. I'm like, yeah, what am I
You got
doing?
to.
Like, I don't know. I read Doom Patrol a while ago, so I guess like when the show's been coming out, I've been kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll definitely check that out eventually. But yeah, I love Doom Patrol. Oh my god, I'm trying to think of other cool ones. JLA, Hawkman.
Oh
did
yeah,
well.
I mean, there's too much
I
to
don't know.
talk about.
There's so many. Do you guys have a favorite hero? Is there one hero I can go through? You guys that have a weird love for. I know Black Canary. Love Black Canary. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not really an odd one, but
Yeah.
I love Green Lantern a lot. Like
Love
I really
the Green
think.
Lantern Corps.
I
Which
think.
one?
I mean, Hal Jordan, I think, is my favorite for
fuck
sure.
yeah.
And I
Which
that
I would
movie,
disagree
it
with.
sucks
I like
because
Stewart.
I think a lot of people like.
Jon Stewart.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people like Jon Stewart because that's the one we grew up with on the
Guy
cartoons.
Gardner,
which is
guys. Guy
Guy
Gardner.
Gardner,
There's
is
always
the
those
man.
Guy Gardner
Yeah.
I
fans.
love Guy Gardner.
the fucking bowl cut. But
Yes,
no, I
hell
love all
yeah.
the stuff with like the emotional spectrum and like the different Lantern Corps and
Yeah.
There's the Blackest Night's like one of my favorite runs.
Blackest
that
Night
they've
was a
done
great
with that,
run. I love
with, like, all the
Blackest
Black
Night. Black
Lantern.
Hand, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think there's some really cool stuff. Flash has also really kind of risen up there for me. I think he's got some really good
love
comics.
Flash.
I think he's kind of tougher to do, and like, there's these weird, like, because in the show, like, it's always like, something will happen to him. Like, you have super speed. Yeah, that should not happen to you.
He's just gotta run
that's
a little
bit fast, yeah.
and there's no limit.
So like that, I guess I've kind of fallen off a bit with. I haven't even read a lot of Green Lantern stuff in a long time. I've been reading. I think I told you about this last time I talked to you, but Deceased. That's been really cool. It's been like their kind of Marvel Zombies or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's a really different take, and like there's some really cool kind of expansions upon like known characters. Like
I like that.
yeah. I don't want to get into too much of it without spoiling it because it's worth a read. I think it's a lot of
Checking
fun.
out Doom Patrol. I'll check out Deceased.
Yeah.
I love The Question. I don't know if that's like an obscure.
Oh wow,
character.
I love it.
I fucking love The Question.
Yeah.
If I do go to Comic-Con, it's
I
absolutely.
really,
question, yeah.
I really like Deathstroke.
I love. Oh, Deathstroke's killer.
Deathstroke is
Yeah.
like one of my
Love Slade.
another
I actually
favorite DC
Constantine.
characters.
I think he has some really good runs too.
Constantine is
Like,
so
I
sick.
really-
I love Constantine. John
And they're
Constantine.
they're doing stuff on HBO Max. They're doing Justice League Dark stuff, and I think
Did you
they're
see
doing
all
like,
these concepts that have been coming out?
yeah, they were because they were.
was
I
like-
heard about that forever. I think I sent one to.
There was like a Dead Man.
It was Etrigan
and
and
Etrigan.
Dead Man?
So they were trying to do it, I think, a while back with Guillermo del Toro. I remember hearing rumors about it, and like, there's here. Let me see. I sent one to our group chat. But yeah, no, they were trying to do it for a while, and now apparently J.J. Abrams is doing a whole Justice League Dark series
Awesome.
on HBO Max.
I read a little bit of Justice League Dark. I wasn't as into it. I like Zatanna a lot.
I do too.
I thought Dead Man was cool. What's he, Boston or
So
something?
that's
Yeah.
Etrigan.
Oh,
Etrigan, and then that's the Spectre. Yeah,
I think another Etrigan one, and then
yeah, it's like him
Dead Man.
Wow.
And then I think
What's the Etrigan poem? I like his little like.
Yeah, he's-
man beyond the man.
very,
Man,
like,
Etrigan.
dark.
Sick,
Like,
dude.
I
Etrigan's
don't know if
sick.
you know what Etrigan is. He's like a demon. Like Nick Blood is a dude from like
1300s
like
or
the
something,
Round
right?
Table,
Yeah.
and he like takes upon this demon, and he's a normal person. Then he turns into him,
It's fucking
and then
Merlin.
the Spectre is like a god,
Spectre,
essentially. And then Dead Man just kind of is a dead man.
He was a
he's
I
like
don't
a
know much to
Spectre,
say
yeah.
about him.
He was a trapeze artist and he died, right? And now he's just a ghost.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he can like
Interesting.
Nobody
yeah.
can see him, like
Yeah.
except Constantine.
Constantine,
Yeah,
like, yeah.
except
Yeah.
people like Constantine like spells into seeing
Uh-huh.
him.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Do
funny.
Are you when you refer to Constantine? Are you talking about like the Constantine that like
That
fights
movie?
the demons and like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
well, movie was
that's
10 years
dude,
ahead of its time.
It really
Yeah,
was.
shit,
Like, look,
yeah.
obviously they didn't cast him like I would have liked to see like in a
blonde.
perfect world, blonde British
Yeah.
guy, of course.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Stone, or is that his name?
Yeah, he does really well in that.
But not Keanu Reeves.
But no, I think he
Yeah.
actually. I think he does.
I like
Just
that.
so that movie is awesome. Like I didn't
I've never
realize
seen
how
it
you
yet.
really.
I've never seen.
I
it.
really agree with you in the way of like
It's
that
a
was
fun
way
movie.
ahead of its like it committed to the source material, but aside from his look.
I didn't know that was a DC.
Yeah.
I had no
Property.
fucking clue.
Yeah, it says
Really?
I think
Yeah,
it does
no,
say
yeah,
DC
here's
before.
the thing
Does
about
it really?
Constantine. It's part of the is it the not Hellraiser?
There used to be like a dark label.
Hellfire.
No,
It is a part of like another label of DC that DC now owns and is
Vertigo.
Part of their canon. Vertigo.
Okay.
It was like a different
it's like they're more
comic.
dark comics.
Yeah. Right.
I
It is
thought it
because
was
it's a
just-
very different tone. I could totally understand you not
Yeah,
realizing.
it doesn't.
That.
It's
It doesn't read like a comic book.
No, it doesn't at all. I thought when I saw the movie, I thought it was just about
Just
this
a-
dude,
yeah, just a-
Constantine
just a- yeah.
that goes in and out of hell to like do.
Dude, that
do
show,
shit.
that movie is. I
That's
kind of
crazy.
want
I
to
didn't know
rewatch
that.
it now again.
I was thinking. I was actually.
It's a fun movie.
Isn't
funny
it?
that you
I
guys
think it's
brought
on
this up.
Netflix, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's on one of the streaming
Yeah.
services. It's funny
Dude,
that you guys
worth
brought
the
it up.
time,
I
for
was
sure.
I was getting ready to rewatch it because I saw it years ago.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, I saw it years ago.
Dude, yeah, Constantine's sick. I love John Constantine. I forget what run it is. I don't think it's New 52. It might be Rebirth. No. Superman isn't Superman. It's like a Bizarro Superman, and no, it is New 52 series. But Constantine is like the only one that can like handle the helmet of fate.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing. Like I like I like him because he is a scumbag. He is the gutter mage, and he's like just a fucking loser.
He's got a big part in
You know,
DC.
it's funny. He's kind of like a very well thought out D&D character.
He's a really well thought out D&D character. He's
he
he's
is.
like Hancock. If Hancock was a really really good movie,
I've never seen Hancock.
Hancock
either.
wasn't great. It was a
Hancock,
cool
like-
idea.
I watched Hancock for the first time like a couple weeks ago. With my
Okay.
fiance, and because I always heard I was like this concept sounds so cool. It's a superhero that just is a drunk and just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Awesome, right? That sounds great.
No, it does. It sounds cool.
And then now like I watched it with my fiance and we got to the part where the girl that was also like the wife of his buddy that's helping him out to become a better superhero is also a superhero.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wait,
What's going on?
That came out of nowhere. And then that was when I was like, this is really
In the
stupid.
last 10 minutes, they're like, we were lovers from the past 30 years. We keep doing this over and over again.
Yeah,
now
it
you
was
have to beat me. And
it was
it's
just
like,
an information.
What?
dump.
Yeah, and that
it's
was
like we can't be together because if we're together, we start losing our powers, and then we die. That's how we die.
That was so
Oh,
dumb.
so
Was
it's like
was that the
Hawkman and
ending?
Hawkgirl.
yeah,
Whether-
no, they
was
keep
that it?
dying.
He literally
over
like
and over and over
Hancock
again.
like goes to New York, and then that's.
Oh, and then he
and
forgets
then-
everything or
Well,
something.
no, he doesn't. So the reason he forgot was because
Get his head hit or something.
so they were
weird.
going. So for some reason, when they're together, they start turning human so they can age and stuff like that and like die. And they were coming out of like the theater from seeing like a movie, and they got mugged, and he got like wrecked, like or like beaten to a pulp, and like he lost, and he basically
But wasn't he a superhero?
not at so
Oh,
when
not
they're
at that
together that their powers fade.
Stupid
Oh,
movie,
that's
Clin. It's a
so-
stupid
Well,
movie.
I know. I think the
Why am I
concept.
so
So the
interested?
idea is like they're like these superpower beings that were put on Earth, and the idea is
Yeah.
the only way they can grow old is when they find a partner who is also, and for some when their powers cancel out each other for some reason, so that they can actually live a normal life.
Right.
So they've been living throughout like the years, and like
It's
It's like
this
bad
time.
writing. Like, how do you make that good?
I think
Oh, yeah.
it was like probably like a cool idea. Whoever like actually wrote it. And
Yeah,
then,
probably
like,
on paper it sounds like
16
interesting.
other people were like, no. But here's what happened. They're lovers.
Yeah.
There's another chick here, and they're in love, but like she doesn't remember, and they've existed for a million. It's some cocaine.
It's a weird left turn
like,
from
stupid.
this is a drunken superhero
Yeah.
that's trying to get it together.
Because that's a fun
And
concept.
then it went into but we're like gods or something and like this weird mystical stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Clin,
I got to that point and I was like,
You're like, I'm
It's
out.
not a good movie. Clin, who is your favorite hero? Do you have a favorite hero?
to be completely honest, I don't know a ton of them, but I really like Deadpool.
Dude, that's all you need.
Just-
I love
hey.
Deadpool.
I mean,
Like
Yeah.
not
I love
the Deadpool
Deadpool
in the films, but there was an episode of like Spider-Man that I watched where he was like
Yeah.
where he meets Deadpool and Deadpool's just a fucking asshole.
Dude,
He's
there's
annoying,
some-
right?
so-
like
yeah,
he's a
Deadpool's
dick,
like
right?
his power is what? To pull anything out of the just
To
thin air?
live, he can't die.
Well, he can't die. He can
physically
break
can't
the
die.
fourth dimension. He's like he's almost like Wolverine.
His
He
healing
breaks the
factor
wall
is
too,
his
doesn't
power.
he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he
His
always
healing
do that, too?
factor.
I mean, and
blows
he's just like
Wolverines out
a
of the water.
he's just like a good fighter. Like he doesn't really his powers aren't like crazy.
Yeah,
He
he's a
gets hurt.
mercenary
But
with
doesn't,
super
doesn't
like
he
strength.
also pull out just like rocket launchers and swords? And
Yeah,
just,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah,
can like
that's
break
part
the
of
fourth wall. Yeah.
humor of him.
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
a
the joke.
shtick.
He's just like a
It's a
screw you
shtick.
to all of the.
I thought the
actual
movies were
superheroes.
good. I thought the movies were
I
fun.
think the
yeah.
first one's really great. I think the second one's pretty good too. But
yeah.
I think that
I'm
first
glad
one really
they
is.
kind of like, all right, let's take a halt. Because like if they just pumped
Well,
out
I don't think
Deadpool's-
that
Pump out
was
10
because they wanted to. I
nonsense
think that's
movies.
just because Disney owns it now.
Yeah.
They're like, what do we do with this?
Dude, the third one is going to be so funny now because all Ryan Reynolds is going to do is make fun of Disney.
Yeah, if it even
That's
happens though,
hilarious.
because apparently it's at a complete standstill right now. That production, or that, yeah, them even thinking about it.
Yeah, I like.
But we'll
that,
see.
There was that one scene where he shows up to the X-Men house and he's like,
It's
wait,
like, is
this-
anyone else here?
Yeah,
Where is everyone?
Are you two the only ones that we could pay for?
Yeah. And then he turns around and they're just like, fuck. Yeah.
It's just these clothes.
No, that was a really good scene.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I
What
like
is
when they do that. They kind of like.
They
Like,
really,
it's like a what's the word? Fans, not
A
fans.
little,
I
yeah,
know,
it's a little,
service
it's a little nice nod. It's a fun nod, yeah.
I always think of
they're
fan
just really
services.
double downing into the fact that like
There's
yeah,
good,
it's
there's
fun.
good and bad fan service,
Right.
For sure. I think a lot of people usually do use that more negatively in the
Yeah.
connotation, but like, yeah.
I always thought of fan service as like any anime that a chick has
Shows
giant
boobs.
tits.
It's every single anime I've
yeah,
I've
yeah.
watched.
No, that is the
Hundreds.
first time I heard for
Right,
fan
that's
service.
what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what we're talking about?
No.
So
like-
in anime, when a non-sexual anime like shows like tits or like like a panty shot or something, like that's fan service.
Yeah.
would never have
That's
Giving
the
your fans
first
some
time.
love, man.
That's the
I
first
like
time I ever heard the term, but I feel like it's been
Yeah.
like used in more generalized concepts now than just.
So now
anime.
it's also it can also be used as like references to other films. Is that the idea too? Like
Yeah,
in-
usually
I mean,
it's like
I mean,
I'd say
that'd be
usually
more an
now
Easter
that I
egg.
find it,
Nods,
it's like
like
it's like a
Easter eggs,
nod.
yeah,
Yeah, it's an
Easter
Easter egg
eggs,
to
yeah.
something maybe in the comics or something from that. Even I feel like it could be in a movie about a book. Like there's a little bit of
Right.
fan, like there's
like
a little
the
bit of
Dark
fan
Tower.
service.
Did you see the Dark Tower?
I didn't.
No, I didn't
I
see
heard
the
it.
Dark Tower. I'm
What-
not
what-
gonna
how
watch
would you
it.
think?
With
With
Matthew
Idris?
McConaughey.
With
Matthew
Idris,
McConaughey.
yeah.
How?
All right,
I heard
all right,
it was
all right.
bad. I wanted to see it.
Bro, terrible.
Oh,
I
what's
mean,
terrible?
Like,
Are you a
I-
big fan of the
I
books?
read all of the books. I
Okay.
fucking loved all the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, and it's just
I'm
shit
no,
on it.
I don't know.
I heard
Bad
people
action.
saying like they should have just
Great
made it into a
series, honestly.
series. It would have
Real
made
quick
more
book.
sense.
First
Yes,
one's quick.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rip it. It's super fun.
Wait, isn't it long?
No, it's 7 books, right? The
Yeah.
first book is only about like 180 pages.
First book is cool.
It's quick,
Wow, that's
dude.
quick.
Not
First
even
book is
200
So
pages.
what is Dark Tower actually? What is encompassed in the books?
I'm not done the Dark Tower series, so
Yeah, I
Shut
don't
the
wanna-
fuck
go
up.
off.
I don't
go
want to
off,
like.
go off for what you can.
So,
I won't listen.
So basically, the Dark Tower is.
I didn't think
they,
we were talking about Dark Tower, but this
They
is funny.
call it Stephen King's Magnum Opus.
Yes.
So it's his best work, but it wasn't really well received to that fashion because people still really like it. They still really like The Shining, and they still really like all of
sheep.
the other.
They're sheep.
Yeah,
Because
I
they're
mean,
sheep,
They
Clin.
didn't want to. I
Fucking
guess
sheep.
hardcore Stephen King fans will tell you that the Dark Tower is absolutely his big thing. But the fans that only read Stephen King and like fall in love with that kind of his way of storytelling would probably, I don't know, like
700
it's
pages
weird.
of
Yeah.
description, and then the final
right.
80
Well, that's
awesome
what the
pages.
stand was. That's what the stand was.
Whoa.
But the reason why I say that, why I bring up his other stories, is because Stephen King's like imagination comes like full tilt in the Dark Tower, where
Doesn't
every
that connect a
single-
lot of the
want,
books
like,
and stuff like that?
all
Yeah.
of his large books play roles in the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
So in his stories, he writes are basically other universes that have things that have occurred. But in the Dark Tower, they cross over into those universes, but not in a way that it's actually kind of interesting. Not in a way that is untasteful. It's not like stupid. Where like Stargate
works,
will send
yeah.
you to different stars or something, but they use it. They call it. It's basically doorways, where it's a physical door
Yeah.
in your reality that you walk through. And you're in a different dimension. And I think that that's kind of a nod for Stephen King of the way his brain works. It's like,
Right.
it's like, this is the way I compartmentalize my stories. Why don't I have one character that can traverse all of these things? So the Dark Tower is essentially about Roland the gunslinger trying to bring balance to the world that has moved on.
That's yeah.
And basically you don't find anything out about him. But as you read the story, you pick up pieces of his past, and it's fucking fascinating.
Also, read.
Yeah, it's the nods, those Easter eggs, like Clin was saying.
Yeah.
Like in the one book, he's walking through the town in the stand, but you wouldn't know it unless you read the stand like recently. Like I didn't know, but I explained it to you, Clin, where I was at in the story, and you explained, oh, that's the stand because they're walking through this new dimension. Just it's a highway. They don't fucking know what cars are and shit. I mean, I guess the one kid does, but they're seeing all these cars and there's weird car names, and they're I guess attuned to the they're in the stand.
Yeah, the Takora spirit.
Yes, and it's
Yeah,
they
and
see
Nazala.
it's
Yeah.
literally one sentence of like a little like shout out to you guys who understand.
It's
I know,
saying
it's-
like
A little bit of fan service.
yeah,
that's exactly
a
what
little bit of fans.
Bringing
But,
it full circle here, boys.
The cool part is that like you wouldn't like I guess it is exactly fan service.
Yeah, it's like
didn't read
if
some
you
of the
get
other
that, you
books-
get it, and it's cool. Yeah.
Made
it's-
zero
it's
sense to me when I
fascinating.
read it.
Like,
I
if
was
you-
like, whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
If you guys like all the things that you do, like all of the all of the comic books and series and thing, like the Dark Tower is absolutely up your
All right,
alley.
I'll have to check it out
Because
for
it
sure.
will like blow your mind.
The thing is, and this sounds lame, books are like hard for me.
Dude, I know. Dude,
No,
I
they are.
started with
Oh,
my
yeah.
I'm not
Oh
a
my God,
hard.
yeah.
I will
Dude.
read a comic book, but like try.
I do. I
it's-
have to
it's-
be. Well, if I get invested in a book, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
right.
that takes
But
a lot
it's
to
work.
happen. Yeah,
It's fucking
it is.
work.
No.
It's hard.
In November, this girl started working on my office, and she's a like an editor. So words, So, English major.
Yeah.
And she's really into books. And like I was
Yeah,
having
yeah.
a conversation with her, and like she was like talking about like, oh, like you should read this, and I'm just like,
Nah.
but that like it's
a no
funny.
from me,
It's
dog.
just like yeah. I'm
But
just
that's
like,
fine too, man.
I have
Read
no
comics.
interest.
Yeah, dude.
But like, and then I'm like, well, like do comic like I read comics,
Dude, these.
and but like I didn't start reading comics until I was in college.
Yeah, the Dark Tower really is like if you do check it out, go for it. Take the dive.
I'll have to
It'll-
look into it.
Those
it'll-
men are more concerned with the
It's
weapons they
definitely
wear
an
Oh,
audio
than
book.
the
so
weapons
if
they
you're
wear.
thinking about a book that will suck you in, like you need to get into it, like the Dark Tower, 1, 2, and 3 are definitely like you'll get attached immediately.
All right.
Like how
Yeah.
quickly did you read through the drawing of the three?
The first
second-
the first three.
Yeah, the first three.
Cullen, I ripped I think in like
Yeah.
a month. The fourth
Right.
I've been working on for like a year.
Just- I tell
I'm
everyone to
going.
skip the
I'm
fourth
halfway
book.
through.
Why?
I'm
Is
like,
it just
oh
too-
god, it's so boring.
He had started the Dark Tower in like the late 60s.
When he was doing all his
Early
drugs.
70s,
Yeah.
when he was doing
Yeah,
all
when
his
he was
drugs.
killing
And
it.
you can tell. And you can tell.
Yeah, like you're
Yes.
like
When he was just
when he
ripping
just go,
lines.
yeah, like when
There
he like
is-
forget
yeah.
writing for like a night or
There
something, but
is-
like he was doing it.
There was one scene, like the Dark Tower. Roland the Gunslinger is based off of the famous cowboy. Clint
John
Eastwood.
Wayne, Clint Eastwood. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought
he
you were
was
gonna say John
famous.
Wayne.
Yeah, he was based off of Clint Eastwood in Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
So Roland the Gunslinger shows up to this town, and the town is bewitched by this curse that this witch had done. So you can tell that Stephen King's on a lot of drugs because in this scene he shows up to the witch's house. She tries to bewitch him, but what he does is he pins her down, takes his 8-inch revolver and like,
Love it.
and then threatens her with it. And then she's like in between this like, oh, I love it so much, but at the same time I might die if I don't
This
do
is
what
not
you
gonna-
want.
oh.
You know
It's
what I mean?
weird
Like,
because
you
he
can
does that
tell,
in his
like,
books. He does it.
he
in
does
Well, I mean,
it
there's
too.
a
He
whole
does it
there's
in
a
the end of
child
Rebirth.
like
What the-
orgy scene in it.
And
Is
that's
that-
what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Which is like,
yeah.
dude, he was on some fun drugs.
I was,
Yeah.
I was
No,
pretty
apparently-
pissed when that was cut from the film. Not
okay.
gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I was like, what the hell?
Apparently he doesn't remember writing like Carrie, Salem's
Cujo.
Lot, and like Cujo. He doesn't
Yeah,
remember.
he
was
don't
just-
remember any of
He
the
was
stuff
taking
going on.
mushrooms and doing coke for like
don't remember
5
any
years
of that.
straight.
Dude, he was fucking
He
wasted.
woke up one day and he was
ripping
like, "Wait, I'm
lines all day.
famous."
He came
Oh
out and he's
my
like- and he's
God.
like- and then the
What am I
like,
doing?
his
Fucking
fucking
bender.
fucking his movies being in. He's like, wait, what?
All
He
the movies-
apparently didn't really like the adaptation of The Shining, right?
He hates
Uh,
all his
no,
movies. I think he hates
honestly,
all his
that's another
movies.
book that if you haven't
He's like
read that one,
he's like an Alan Moore.
I
type.
picked
I,
up
don't know,
that
I
book.
think
Fucked everything
I think he had
up.
good words for the new It. But what were you saying? Christopher?
I've yet to watch either.
Shining, The Shining
It's
was
good.
literally
First one
one
was
of the
good.
best
Second
books
one
I've ever read and the most terrifying. And one of the I think it's only like 13 pages was the scariest fucking 13 pages I've ever read in my entire life, and it shouldn't be scary.
No,
But
it's
the way
my
he
friend
builds the
Super. He
suspense-
has this one book that's just full of his short stories.
Oh, is it
And-
Nightmares and Dreamscapes?
I think it
Yeah,
is.
I
I
have
think that's
that
the
one,
exact
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And he's telling me, he's like, dude, I can't read it at night sometimes. Like
Yeah, some
it's
of
just
his
too.
stuff is
Sick.
And
The
that is
Shining
nuts. I
especially.
like that is good writing because you're not seeing anything. It's just descriptor. Like that.
Well, that's what I also hate too. Is
No, it's true. Yeah.
yeah, I hate that the
It's
fucking
so
the stand
long.
is like 1100 pages.
The fucking It book. My friend
right,
showed me. It's a
the
brick.
same way. Right,
It's like a literal, like
And
it's basically
and
brick
a
size.
majority of that is just like, and he pulled down the street with the big oak tree and
Yeah,
the several
and
mailboxes and every
just
single
all
blade
these-
of grass except for one was tilted to the side, and it's
Dude,
just like.
it's insane that he has that much description in him,
Right.
but you can tell, like, this man loves cocaine. This man, in his
He
prime,
loves hardcore drugs.
loves-
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loves getting
Dude,
high
it's
and writing books. I love it.
100%
Good
of
for him.
all he did was focus on, like Clin said, like, all the grass was wet except for the one.
What
And
does
this
that
blade
mean,
of grass?
Stephen King?
And it comes back 800 pages
Yeah,
later.
Was
yeah.
the one blade of grass that this guy missed when he mowed the lawn?
The same grass he tripped over when that murder was just. It's stupid.
Back
But
in
yeah,
1771.
Yeah, I love, dude. I like the Dark Tower. Roland of Gilead is a superhero. He is a
incredible.
fucking animal. He is
It's sad.
the
and when
fastest draw you've ever
right,
seen.
it was so impactful on my life, like the Dark Tower, because
I
it
love
makes
the
you
Dark Tower, it's a
question
great-
Like everything,
just
yeah.
reality in general.
That's
and
cool.
just
Clint, thanks for giving me the Dark Tower too. By the way, man, thanks for like loaning me like.
Oh, did I give
Get
you
me
those
on
books?
that. Yeah, you gave
I don't
me.
even
I think
remember it.
this.
Have you guys done the history of Stephen King?
No, oh,
I would
man.
love to.
You
That
want to
would
do
be-
that?
that seems like a
That'd
good
be
idea.
fun.
That would be a-
Honestly,
that
we
would
could
be
do
a good
this.
one, I
Chat
think.
about all of his.
We have
all
a
his-
list
All
of
his
like
insanity,
so many
yeah.
topics.
Yeah, we do. Well, we
that-
have the Dr. Seuss episode.
We have
that
the
still
Dr.
have.
Seuss
I have
that we
to-
haven't-
Dude, that's my fault.
Dude, it's on. Well, your laptop.
Dude,
broke,
you haven't
so it doesn't
you haven't
matter.
read fucking Hop on Pop yet? What the fuck? Dude?
Yeah,
Come
dude,
on.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know, man. It's the last one I gotta read.
Oh man, it's so sad.
Oh man.
before we end it, because I feel like we've been going a little long here. I did want to bring up D&D.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I did want to
D&D
bring it
guys.
up because, like we're gonna be doing our third session on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm excited. You guys are doing weekly now instead of bi-weekly.
No, we're switching back to bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and then like if we feel like it,
Because
we'll
I'm
do
like,
a
I want to
weekly,
get back. I'm like, all right, we'll go back, like, because we had to miss last week, and we'll get back on the cadence.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, it's really fun.
How do you like? It's really fun. It's
I
a
got
great
dice
hobby,
over
right?
there.
This is
You got-
so he got you guys into it, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Dude, it's
Yeah,
lots.
it's,
D&D's so
it
much
really
fun.
Have you
is.
played
Yeah.
like just as much as he has?
Clin has played a good amount with
good
me. You
amount, but
started. He
not-
started with me.
Gian has literally like I've watched his progress as a
grown.
dungeon master, and like it's fucking phenomenal. Like
Capricorn-
Dude, no, it really is cool.
Capricorn McCarthy
is,
is he's
can
the.
you, can you
I've
just
never
say-
done a better character
Can
than
you do some
Capricorn
Capricorn
Capricorn McCarthy. We's a detective. I'm here to arrest you, except I don't have any handcuffs. And dude,
Isn't
I'll
he
tell you
like
what,
he's a dwarf,
he's
right?
he's a halfling. He's a bald halfling.
Will
he's not a real
will
detective.
we come across Capricorn McCarthy?
Eventually, I have him in my campaign, so I don't play him in this campaign.
Oh,
I
he's
play
a
the-
character you created.
He's a character
like,
I
that
play
you
in other
played,
people's
not in,
campaigns.
Yeah.
not in.
But you would also when Gian
I
does
throw him into
when he
campaigns.
when
He's
he
my-
does the dungeon master, he plays as NPCs.
He's
Yeah,
like
no,
my,
can
he's
I-
my nod to other characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I bring one up? And
Yeah,
I think
hit it.
everyone will
Absolutely.
agree with me that his
Totally.
experience is Sleepy Peen.
Oh, Godric Sleepy Peen.
Godric
That was my first
Godric
character.
Sleepy
I
Peen.
fucking
He was
hated
not
Godric
well
Sleepy
received,
Peen.
actually. Everybody
Why?
hated him. I played with my girlfriend for your session. I
Yeah.
think at the end of your session,
Yeah.
she tried to kill me. She was
like in game or in real life.
in game.
Like, she had some words at the end
She
of
had
it.
some words at the end of it. She
She like
hated
cornered
Godric.
you and was like, Gian, you gotta stop with Sleepy
Godric was like,
Fuck this game.
he was
What was he? Like
he
what?
was an Asimar warrior fighter, and he was beautiful. He had beautiful hair, and he was
Why did that
shining
get you
No,
so
dude,
hard?
I'm just thinking of her getting you in the corner, and being like, "You gotta fucking shut this guy up,"
No,
or
but
something.
she
Like,
did that.
like,
Yeah, literally, it had to end, and I remember thinking like, "Oh, I literally have been progressing this character."
Yeah,
like,
you know
he
what
wasn't fun.
You know what it is? It's just that you're really good at concept acting. And I think
what was this guy? Like,
He was a
Yeah,
tool. He was a douchebag. He had beautiful
Fucking prick.
teeth, and he was just a prick all the-
it was every time Sleepy Peen pulled out his sword, he had to pause and check out his reflection in the sword. And it's like,
his rapier. He didn't pronounce it.
yeah.
Rapier.
look at my rapier.
I think fighting with me was awful because it would be my turn. I'd be like, I coif my beautiful hair. And I show my teeth that are glistening. They're so bright.
So you
can't
wouldn't
even
attack?
see.
No, he'd
I
lean
would
into it.
attack eventually, but he sucked. He was kind of a poppy douchebag.
Oh
And,
my god, that's amazing.
Capricorn, I think, is a little more humble than people. But D&D, I'm so happy you guys are in.
Dude, it really is. It's a great
in
time.
this D&D
So
campaign.
when we're done, whenever that is,
Yes.
we're definitely doing a podcast.
I would love to
I
do
would
a
love
podcast.
to bring like you and Chris Abbott and
Absolutely.
Hanley in and like,
Absolutely.
and like just talk about the
Be a great
entire
time.
campaign
The-
and like talk about like our time because this is
I-
the first time obviously.
I'm happy you guys lived. I had a very similar situation last night. A lot of death saving throws. A lot of my one team literally pulled off a great move. It's only 3 guys. They did great. I was super proud of them. They didn't die. It's my favorite hobby. It's consumed a huge part of my life. I do it all day, every week. I'm super busy after work, just
Man, it was
D&D
it
online.
was just
that,
pure luck.
that
we
is a
met you,
commitment,
too.
man.
Yeah.
I really give you a lot of props because
It's
like
hard.
I don't think I could like just like want to do that.
Yeah.
And
Like
you're
especially
keeping track
for
of
games,
probably a lot of
games
shit
you're
too.
not
I
even
was, like,
playing. you
So I
know?
jump in casual games. I'll jump in on like Chris's campaigns or Hanley's campaigns. Like the team I sent to Hanley's campaign last night. I'm gonna jump in. They only have 3
so they
dudes.
went to what's the other city called?
Hanlantis.
Is it
so
the second
they,
town?
oh, I'm sorry. So the second
it's
towns
Weldrake
are
and
Weldrake and Espinachas is my town. That's probably where you might end up depending on where you go
Okay.
in Espinachas or Hanlantis. It depends. What I'm really excited for is the second towns. So the first towns were more of an introduction to get everybody ready because we have a lot of new players.
yeah, because like our second session was a lot of like exploring
Role-playing.
Weldrake. We didn't
Yeah.
fight. We didn't fight at all.
I love that. That's my favorite.
Oh, I
That's
thought you were
my-
trying to get. Oh yeah.
That's my favorite part of the game is the role playing, the exploration, because there's so much little shit you miss. I play on a team with in Weldrake in Chris's town, and it is some of them are like, no, let's go to. They're rushing through, and it's like I'm missing.
Did you
weapons.
fall for the guy at the bridge?
Oh, we fucked him up. We murdered him.
No,
Oh,
dude,
we
I was
should
like-
have murdered him.
I
I wanted
was-
to murder him.
So
I
do you-
didn't want to.
have you played this
I
campaign?
stole the
No.
weapon though.
I haven't been
Okay,
part of it.
so when you go to Weldrake, there's this guy at a bridge who's kind of like, it seems like he's trying to scam you to get in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this guy's totally scamming us. I don't think he's gonna kill us, but he's totally gonna steal our stuff. So like we like ignored him, and like he was like,
And we
"Welcome to
like went up and
Weldrake," he
inspected
ran
the
away.
bridge, and then he was like, "Have fun in Weldrake," and then
Yeah.
stole away.
Yeah, and but we didn't fall for him.
I like Weldrake a lot. I actually just completed Weldrake 3 nights ago with my team. we were super stoked. They're coming to my town. Now I get to run. This is where I'll run Chris and his team and stuff through. But I really like my town. I think it's a lot more dangerous. Chris is he wants it's user friendly. It's a lot of role playing and it's a real good understanding.
It is a lot of role playing.
And that's a real good that's how you play D&D and that's how you should go in.
Yeah.
My dungeon, people have not been enjoying. My town, my area.
Is it just hard?
It's frustrating. Yeah.
It's a lot of like confrontation.
A lot of downs.
Because like
a lot of
Drake,
unconscious
literally,
people.
that second session we had no confrontation.
Yeah, we didn't have one combat.
Not a lot of combats in mine either. Not a lot of combats. Definitely a lot of other stuff going on. You'll see.
I
You'll
did
get there.
convince some orcs that I was beef or whatever.
You went to the orcs.
So we didn't get to the orcs yet. There was
We
some
went to the
climbing up
back
the
alley.
mountain to come up to Weldrake, and we saw him. And I was, yeah.
He's a good DM.
Yeah,
It's all
he is.
over the place. That's a big town. I'm nervous for his next town because it's going to be even bigger. But the second towns, the next level towns that you guys go to, when you're really like, I'm like level 5 now. You're monsters. You're getting to meet warriors. That's where I'm excited for.
I can't wait.
I've been working on this one for months now. This was my like main campaign. I'm really excited for it. I hope I can follow up the final part of it. With
I
it,
can't
but
wait.
I'm excited.
So
for you
what
guys.
teams are there, or none of them?
What teams are there? None yet. Nobody has made it. So Chris has gotten through most.
So people, I guess people have died before.
No,
They got
so there's our first towns. Nobody's made it to the second towns. Everybody's just started to beat we've just started beating Weldrake and Espinachas.
Okay.
So after that, you have to play each one of our campaigns. It doesn't go Weldrake and then the second level. You have to go Weldrake, Hanlantis, and Espinachas. And
So
vice versa.
we're gonna hit Espinachas at some point.
Either next
Of
or
course.
after that sesh.
Can't wait.
Be safe.
And I like the vibe. Like Dumpling Village is like a much different vibe than Weldrake.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's all different DMs. Everybody's style
No,
is
it's
so
cool.
crazy.
It really is.
Yeah,
They did a
it's-
great job.
Thank
guys
you.
did
And
a fun job,
Weldrake
yeah.
is like vast. Like there's so many places.
Dude,
I was
there's
like,
like 40
Jesus Christ.
buildings. There's
I was like,
like-
this feels like an RPG. You just got to a new town, so you walk around for 2 hours and go in every shop and thing and like get
See
all
what's
the
going
quests.
on, yeah.
Like that's like
Go to
where
the
we're at
marketplace
right
in
now.
Weldrake.
Yeah.
He's got some cool shit in there.
We
He's
just
some
got
good-
to what was the plumber's name?
The Fine Tooth Gnomes. They sent you to.
We're going to see the
Fix this
janitor to talk
dude's-
about beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My whole thing was like, these orcs don't seem evil, and I feel like beef is our way to like talk to them.
Trying to get that
not-
treasure.
It's crazy.
See,
got
I'm not
that.
about the treasure. He
See,
is.
what's funny?
Need that fucking
like,
treasure.
You guys are on a totally different route than we took in Weldrake. That's what's fun about it. Like we took, like Hanley. Hanley was hanging out with me, and we went over it last night, and he was like, "Oh, you guys went that way? I did not go that way. I have no idea what's going on in this part of the campaign. Literally just over my shoulder. Like,
That's
trying to figure
awesome.
out what is going on in Chris' campaign? Where is it?
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, thanks again. This was something we've been wanting to do forever. I can't believe it worked out. We're gonna do a full-on pod on it soon, though.
I'm so happy
You're
you
there.
guys
I mean,
are in on
whenever
it.
we're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be at the end.
Yeah.
I'm so it's going to be a long time, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I
not
would
as
say-
long as you think, but you
I
guys are
think-
doing well.
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily have to wait for the entire campaign to be
I'd
over. but
rather.
That's gonna. I feel like that'll be months.
If
right?
you make it, and it'll be months.
If we
it'll be a
make
long
it, that's the
time, if
thing.
you make
Whenever
it.
we die,
Well,
True.
when you die, I make you guys make a new character. You're still one level below what you were or whatever. It can be a brand new character, whatever. I almost killed somebody last night. 2 failed death saves. Thank God somebody cure wounds him because I was like, this is not
This is
going
dead. Yeah.
fucked up. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, awesome, dude.
Yeah.
so
This has
before
been-
before we do our outro, where can the folks that are listening to us find you?
Oh man! Again, every major podcast listener, Spotify, iTunes, some other third one. I'm sure there's more out there. We're on SoundCloud. We do have an email now. If you have any questions or you're offended by any of the topics that Clin and I go over, too bad. Please write us though. Clin?
Yeah, can I? I just wanted to do a quick plug.
Yeah.
Send us an email if any of you that are listening want to request any topics that we can cover.
Good idea.
Or want to be part of the show, or just a call in, or anything.
Yep.
Our email is historyofpod@gmail.com. I mean, the DMs are fucking dry right now.
No, dude, they're full of Tostino pizza roll, just cursing us out,
trying to
telling
get us
yanking our
back.
sponsorship.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They're trying to
whatever.
have you paint your set.
Like I said at
their
the
colors.
beginning.
Yeah, they want us to come back.
DiGiorno's or whatever.
DiGiorno?
We're coming for you,
Stop
DiGiorno.
making fun of me,
I
man.
felt kind of weird about that too.
DiGiorno's were coming.
Pretty funny. I'm sorry.
DiGiorno?
DiGiorno.
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 It's DiGiorno.
It's DiGiorno.
I kind of want to call it DiGiorno from now
Hey,
on.
it's DiGiorno.
Still,
DiGiorno's.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once again, thank you so much for coming on today. Fun time.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime, you'll be back for sure. I mean,
Absolutely.
you're
Yeah,
obviously
having us.
welcome
Same
back.
here. Same here.
Definitely check out their podcast, everyone. Check out our episode that we were on for them, the history of the Jedi. That was a ton of fun. It's up on there.
Good reviews from them.
Yeah.
Up on their podcast services right now. Well, thanks for watching. If you were watching live, which we're not doing now, unfortunately, but usually you can find this streaming live at twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network.
Everyone does when
yeah,
they turn and wave. It's like
You can find this podcast on all your favorite podcast services. Just search our name, Delco Nerd Network. All of our socials are out there. We are at Delco Nerds on everything, as far as I know. And we also do have an email. I feel like we should start plugging that more too now. I forget about it. We are at delconerds@gmail.com, right?
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
We
Nice.
never
We never really
plug
use it. We got that satanic Delco email in there one time. So, but that is a really good way to get in contact
Yeah.
with us if there's anything you want to put in. All this information can be found on our website, www.delconerdnetwork.com. For Clin, for Gian, for Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.